Spider-Man Brand New Day website launched last week. Handful of people dug in through that code and found links for the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie trailer. They're not live yet. So you're a website guy. You can put shit in the back end, right? Not publish it yet.
Hey, you can comment it out or something shit like that.
But if you really go digging, you can find that shit.
Right.
So people found it. So everyone's like, oh my God, a trailer. It's coming next week. Oh my God. So they turned that into it's coming next week. So who the fuck knows when it's coming? But there is a rumor now that this week we're going to be getting a Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. So look out for that. Who knows? Aaron Pierce, who's playing John Stewart in Lanterns, will reprise his role in the Man of Tomorrow movie. Good. One of the things that is missing from a lot of these movies is, you got some shit happening in New York. Daredevil, Kingpin's taking over, right? He's the mayor. Well, what the fuck is Spider-Man doing?
Right.
Why ain't he checking this shit out?
Yep.
Where's Captain America? Where's Falcon America? What's he doing? He knows where New York is.
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
Get it straight.
My bad. But where are all these other motherfuckers? Right? Like, I mean, we just watched Winter Soldier last week. You mean to tell me they're pulling up SHIELD helicarriers in DC and they're about to fucking blast everybody and Iron Man didn't pop up?
Right.
Come on. Now, I know why. But so when I hear this, I'm good. I don't, even if it's just a cameo, he should be in there.
Sure.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is the second best Guardians movie. All right. Welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. That's Adrian.
What's up?
Hold on. Wait. That's Adrian. Look at that. It's like magic.
Exactly.
Dude. Two people on one screen,
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Only Comics. If you're brand new, buckle the fuck up, dude. If you've never been here before, you don't know what to expect.
Right.
Now, you will hear some adult language.
Language.
I had a guy, so we're going to start off, Adrian. We're going to start hot and heavy.
Okay, let's do it.
So there was a guy on TikTok that was complaining about my language. He got on, so as for y'all who don't understand how it works, my channel, okay,
Right.
I posted the stuff, created it 3 years ago. I posted a video of me talking to you back and forth, and I said the F word a few times.
Yeah.
Yes, not French fries. Fuck.
Right.
Fucker.
I think I recall a couple of those.
Motherfucker, fucker, fuck you. Like it was, that's how we talk.
Sure.
He said something along the line. I think he deleted his comment, but he said something along the lines of like, you just watch your language. There's too many F-bombs. There's kids that watch this post. Okay. Adrian, I'm 40 years old. Okay. You're above the age of 40?
I am slightly.
Slightly. You're that next bracket.
Yeah.
We are the comic
See,
unks.
you ain't even have to go all that. I'm slightly above.
Slightly
40.
above, yes. Yeah. Well, there's like a range in between this year and that year.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not fucking 10 years old.
Right.
Why the fuck would kids be watching our content in the first goddamn place?
Right? Well, first of all, you got the ones that's, why is a couple old uncles doing this bullshit? And aren't you too old for this? And da-da-da. But now kids are watching it suddenly.
Come on, dude.
Dog.
Get the fuck out of here. So anyone like that guy, what I would suggest now is just get the fuck off of this video because it ain't going to get any better. It's going to keep going in that direction and probably get a little worse.
That's probably.
But we're going to have fun along the way.
Sure,
At the end of the day, that's what we're here for. So, Adrian, appreciate you coming out. Guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and then we're going to get fucking started. We got some news and rumors, Adrian.
Of course we do.
Of course we do. It's what we do. Report the news, rumors. People, remember the guys like, you got to give a spoiler warning. Bro, it's news and rumors right now, okay?
Right.
That's your warning.
Well, the fact that you showed up, that's your warning.
There you go. So, we had, remember like 6 years ago, we had this thing called the pandemic?
Slightly, yeah.
Slightly wearing masks. Remember, it was a fucking weird time.
Yeah.
It changed a lot of industries.
Yes.
It did change Hollywood. I mean, a lot of what we talk about in this podcast is the movie industry, right? Predominantly comic stuff, but we venture out a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Matter of fact, we saw the trailer. We'll talk about this in a little bit. Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg's trying to tell us something, dude.
I think he should have just stopped at Disclosure. Disclosure Day is kind of stupid.
Okay.
But
just
whatever.
Disclosure. But the pandemic really reshaped movie viewing for a long time. Remember, all the studios stopped putting movies into theaters. They're putting them on streaming first or streaming and theaters at the same time. One of the things that happened, and we're still feeling this effect of the pandemic, is the theatrical release windows have been shortened.
Sure.
right? Like back before COVID, a movie would be in the movie theaters, 6 months maybe? Like obviously big release for 2 or 3 months but it'd be in there for some time.
Well, they had different I believe they had different delivery vehicles.
Yeah.
Maybe I think COVID refined some of these streaming platforms and these delivery platforms to be able to get things out faster and cleaner as opposed to what it was before. So yeah.
Right. Now, you could argue both sides, right? Like if you're Universal Pictures is the one we're going to talk about right now. If you're Universal Pictures, you could, if you're working there, you can go, hey, dude, listen, if we leave the movie out in the theater a little bit longer, we probably can make some more money, right? Also, as a fan, maybe you may not run out, day one to see it. Maybe you're busy, but maybe 4 weeks later, you're like, I'd like to check this thing out in the theater. And it's already fucking gone.
Right.
So Universal is committing to and the reason we're talking about it here, everything will tie back to comics. I can promise you that. Maybe, most likely. There's a good chance. Spider-Man Brand New Day is a movie that drops in July. And this movie is now, Universal Pictures is now committing to a longer theatrical window for this movie. So I'll bring this up because that means we're probably going to see a trend here. We're probably going to get back to, movies being in the theaters longer. We're already back to more content being produced. I mean, dude, you remember the first few years after COVID, it was like fucking 2 movies a year that you actually wanted to see. There was nothing. Now we got the schedule. I finally put the list together. There's a ton of shit coming out this year. So Spider-Man will be in the movie theaters. They're increasing they're committing, Universal Pictures is committing to a 5-weekend theatrical release window this year. And then next year in 2027, they're increasing that to 7 weekends. So I think that's good for the industry. That means, we'll see if there's an appetite for it, right? But there's got to be things that they're seeing that make sense to put these pictures out longer,
Well, yeah, fucking James Cameron with his re-releasing of Avatar and shit. They want to keep that. Well, they know Spider-Man, whatever the fuck it's called, is going to make money.
Sure.
So they want to keep it out in theaters longer so they can, bump up that worldwide ticket sales kind of stuff. So now, if you bring out She-Hulk, it's going to be in there for a couple of days, then they're going to pull it. So, Spider-Man's a big box office ticket draw. They're going to keep it out a little longer, and that's strategic. Yeah. But so I think this is not, I don't agree that it's a trend. I think it's a strategic move. Yeah. And probably brought along by fucking Cameron and his re-releasing of Avatar and all this other bullshit.
Right. It says that Sony's committing to a 60-day minimum window for Spider-Man Brand New Day. So at least, 2 months. It's crazy that seems long now, right?
Right.
Like back in the day, dude, movie be out there for fucking 8 months in the theater.
Right. Do theaters have a say in this, or they just like, just lay down and just get boned or whatever? Because, if you have Netflix pumping out 30 movies a year and nobody saw,
right?
I'm sure there's other movies coming out, outside of the comic genre.
Yeah.
Don't the theater have a say in, how long a fucking movie can stay in their shop?
I'm sure they do, but shit, what do you want? Fucking Tommy's documentary about, people that pick their nose, or fucking Spider-Man,
True that.
Like, Tommy, keep your bullshit at home. We got motherfucking Spider-Man. Keep it in as long as we can, because they make a shit ton off of these.
Right.
You're talking about a box office smash. So the last Spider-Man movie, No Way Home, this thing came out during the tail end of the pandemic. Like, this was one of the first big movies after everything closed up. And that movie broke records at 1.9 billion, almost 2 billion. So Brand New Day, do I think it's going to do more than 1.9? I think so. I would not be shocked if this Spider-Man Brand New Day movie does 2 to 2.5 billion.
That would be insane.
It would.
That would be insane.
But think about it. We haven't had a Spider-Man piece of content in a long time.
Sure.
We had obviously the first 2 Spider-Man MCU movies. Spider-Man was in Civil War, Avengers, and he's everywhere. We had the animated movies, and now I think it's been since Across the Spider-Verse. We haven't had any fucking new Spider-Man content. So I think people, they're itching, dude. They're ready. ready to get back in that web, you know? Speaking of Spider-Man Brand New Day, you're a tech guy, Adrian, so you're gonna appreciate this, maybe. There's hackers, right?
Sure.
Now, I wouldn't even call this a hacker. You know how you can go in like your Chrome browser and there's some combination of keys you can press and you can view the code of any website?
Yeah.
So the Spider-Man Brand New Day website launched last week, I guess. And would you believe that motherfuckers are all up in that code? What are they in the code for? They want to know what the fuck's going on this website because we still haven't seen a trailer. Okay. So somebody, handful of people, dug in through that code and found links for the Spider-Man Brand New Day movie trailer. They're not live yet. So you're a website guy. You can put shit in the back end, right? Not publish it yet.
Hey, you can comment it out or something shit like that.
But if you really go digging, you can find that shit.
Right.
So people found it. So everyone's like, oh my God, a trailer. It's coming next week. Oh my God. So they turned that into it's coming next week. So who the fuck knows when it's coming? But there is a rumor now that next week, this week now, we're going to be getting a Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. So we'll look out for that. Who knows? But I mean, they wouldn't put that in this code this early if it wasn't coming soon, right? Is it? Or could they?
They could.
Yeah.
I mean, by mistake. Or not thinking that people are going to dig through it.
Yeah.
Or maybe strategic.
You
know? And by the way, if somebody steals something and give to you, that gives you access to something. Like if somebody found a key on the side of the road or they pickpocketed somebody and got a key to somebody's house and they gave it to you and then you walked into their house, that's not hacking.
Okay.
Right? So I think hacking has been blurred with just unauthorized access.
Right.
There's a big difference. So if somebody gives you a key to somebody's house and you walk in, that's unauthorized access.
You're trespassing.
If you break through that windows, that's hacking.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's a different. So when it comes to computers, if you got the skill and the knowledge to go digging for shit and you find it and you gain access through your skill and your persistency, that's hacking.
Yeah.
If somebody says, hey, Mike, I opened this door for you, look, that's not hacking at all.
That's snooping.
That's snooping.
So this fella here was snooping around on this website. I wouldn't say he hacked it, right? He didn't break into it. It's there.
Exactly.
He's just he's looking through the fucking windows.
Exactly.
Like, you're all up in the website's code, dude.
Right. He's doing some watcher shit.
For real, bro. Back it the fuck up, Junior. This Spider-Man Brand New Day movie, there's a change of it's not a change since it was announced, but a change from the first three Spider-Man movies. The director of this movie is Destin Daniel Cretton. And you go, who the fuck is that? We actually have a segment called Who the Fuck Is? And it's going to tie into this. Destin here is the fella that directed Shang-Chi in The Legend of Ten Rings. I thought it was a great movie. Yeah,
I'm not.
You don't like Shang-Chi? I thought you did.
No. I like Shang-Chi. Yep. It's just that when you have the 3 movies, there's no consistency. So there is going to be a change.
Oh yeah,
you are going to see some change. So I'm just that causes me to pause.
Okay. Oh, because you want it to, I guess, feel like a continuation of the other 3.
Well,
it's supposed to be a kind of a
not
reset.
Necessarily. I mean, it's. I understand that, but I mean, the things that made the last one $1.9 billion is not going to change.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm not interested in seeing what the change is. I'm just like a little apprehensive.
Okay.
So that's all.
It's a little risky.
Yeah.
Because you had this formula that worked.
Exactly.
And then you're like, let's make a new formula. So, but based off of what this dude Destin did with Shang-Chi was an enjoyable movie.
Yeah.
He managed a lot of different characters. He introduced a lot of new characters to us because most of the characters in that movie were brand new.
Sure.
Right? So based off of that, I feel good. Now, here, I guess you'll probably like this part then, since you kind of feel a little hesitation, Adrian. The script is being written by the same writers of the other Spider-Man movies. So you got the same writers. It's just the guy bringing that script to life, so new guys. So you got a little bit of old, a little bit of new,
Same difference.
Same difference.
I mean, think about it. I mean, James Cameron, he makes good movies.
Yeah.
Right? Steven Spielberg makes good movies. If Steven Spielberg's made fucking the first 3 ETs And then all of a sudden, James Cameron came in. Oh, well, let's make a fourth one. Yeah, they're both good writers, but it's going to be a little bit a different direction. So that's all I'm saying.
We'll see. Another rumor about Spider-Man is Marvel and Sony are interested in doing a Spider-Man Wolverine movie. Just a rumor, but I mean, we've seen a Wolverine Deadpool movie, a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Some people people hate on that movie now. It was just no point to it. It was stupid, bro. Silly. Motherfucker, that movie was a lot of goddamn fun.
Yes, it was.
Like, why can't sometimes we just go have fun at the theater? Does everything have to be so meaningful and lead to something and tie to this and that? And bitch, shut the fuck up and enjoy what we're serving you.
There's that.
And they say I'm a Marvel shill. But I had fun watching these guys beat the shit out of each other, cuss each other out, fucking stab each other, fight each other, then team up. I mean, it was fucking great. Wonderful. Anyways, Spider-Man Wolverine movie. How's that sound to you?
Cool.
Yeah. It sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Now, if you had your choice, would you say bring in a new Wolverine for this or bring in Hugh Jackman?
New one.
New one, okay.
Yeah.
And what Spider-Man, I mean, you want him to bring back fucking Tobey Maguire, Garfield, Holland, or a new Spider-Man?
I mean, if this is a one-off, I'll say new all the way around.
New, okay. So whole
But
new.
definitely replace Jackman.
Got it.
And I can do Holland.
Okay. I'd actually like to see Holland and Hugh Jackman together. I think it'd be fun. Sure. But the thing is,
I'm not saying I would shit on it if they showed up.
No, your
together.
preference though.
But yeah.
And
it's like, you need to let's start segueing Hugh out of the way.
I agree with that. We need to get our next Wolverine.
Right.
Because I know it's the joke. I don't like the idea of him till he's 90.
Right. And fucking another 10 more years of the boy, so we're never going to get fucking Star in there. So
correct.
That's out.
So who knows that? Now that's just a rumor. So here's one thing you have to do with rumors. You don't have to do anything, do whatever the fuck you want to do. You should do.
Language.
Yeah.
Language.
Don't take these as fact and then be mad when they don't happen. People do that shit. Like, the rumors said that, Batman was going to fucking punch Joker in the nuts in this movie, and he didn't. He didn't. It sucks. It's why it sucks. Like, bro's a fucking rumor, bro. Rumor. We don't have, this could be not true at all. This could be literally in the works right now. You don't fucking know. Anyways, something that is in the works right now, Supergirl, Adrian. This comes out June 26th.
Damn, that's tomorrow.
Right, dude, it's March. Fucking, it's midway through. Can you believe that shit?
I mean,
wasn't it just January last week?
Yes, sir.
Holy shit.
Oh.
When we first started talking about these movies, it felt like fucking years down. Doomsday, what's that? And like, it's literally like, bro, a few weeks we'll be in there. Fucking, oh my God, oh my God. Looks like Tony Stark.
I don't know, dude. Week after next, Madison's going to be bracing the screens, right?
Right?
Maybe 2038 or some bullshit.
For real, dude. So anyways, Millie Alcock, who plays Supergirl, was talking about this movie. She says that I think young girls should walk away from the film knowing that it's okay to be a bit bad and messy, whatever the fuck that means. But the real reason I bring this up is a couple things. One, we know that Jason Momoa in this is Lobo. We know we're kind of mixed about his little makeup fucking sludge fest. But I mean, outside of that as a whole, I'm interested in seeing this take on Lobo. Now, there has been some screenings. It was funny remember when Superman came out and they were doing these screenings and everyone's like, James Gunn doesn't do screenings. I'm like, bro, he fucking just said he did. Everybody relax. So anyways, they've done some screenings on this and they've had some mixed reviews, but here's what's been consistent among the reviews. Alcock's performance has been praised as Supergirl, and Jason Momoa is said to steal the scenes that he is in as Lobo. So now here's the down, though, that has been in a lot of these reviews. Matthias, Skonartz, he's playing a villain. He's playing Krem of the Yellow Hills. You know what the fuck this guy is?
No.
Me neither. But he is singled out as a negative in this movie. So we'll see. Which is not abnormal for comic movies, superhero movies. To have a great movie and a mediocre villain. I mean, Marvel's done it for fucking years.
Right.
So DC's now taking over the reins, I guess.
Rhino.
Fucking Rhino, fucking Apocalypse. You can just go on and on, dude. Malekith. the who's Darben. I mean, you go on and fucking speaking of Ronan the Accuser, was a fucking punk ass villain in Guardians of the Galaxy, which was our movie this week for Road to Doomsday. We'll get into that in a little bit.
The Mole Man was better than all them fuckers, dude.
Yep. So I wanted to touch on Supergirl a little bit because I think a lot of people, when they first saw this, felt like it was such a contrast to what they were used to.
Mm-hmm.
But
Me included.
You included.
Yep.
But after we did some digging, you read a comic, Adrian. After you did some digging, you realize that, wait a minute, this is based on a comic version of Supergirl.
Yeah, sure. She can be a drunk too.
Right? Why not? But their origins are very different, Superman, Supergirl.
Yes.
And I think that's where, like, maybe not you, but a lot of the casual viewers are like, they're expecting a female Superman.
Right.
Literally going to be the same type of character, Boy Scout, but except she's a Girl Scout. You can't call them Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts anymore. They're just Scouts. I heard someone told me. I don't know if it's fucking true or not. You can't assume the gender of a Scout. Motherfucker, if you're selling me cookies, you're a Girl Scout, okay? I ain't never had a Boy Scout sell me cookies. Have you?
I have not.
No. So that's how you decide right there. It's fucking very simple.
You just have to walk up to her and say, hey, Scout, can I have some cookies, please?
Right.
Not your cookies, but those cookies.
Scouts of America. It's fucking Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. It's really not that fucking hard. Anyways, so...
Are there any boys that change to go to the girls' side?
Not anymore.
but they're still called Scouts, right?
You know, I don't know. If anyone knows, don't let us know. But the initial, I guess, idea when you see these two characters is you think it's the same character. It's absolutely not. And one of the biggest differences is how they were raised, right? Superman was sent to Earth when he was an infant.
Right.
And Krypton was destroyed. Well, Supergirl was not sent to Earth. She was there. And part of this planet, like literally a rock that chipped off of Krypton, is where she was raised. And then for the first 14 years of her life, she sees everybody around her being fucking killed and all this bullshit. So she grew up.
Is that this version of her?
That's what that's what James Gunn says.
Oh my God. It could be that version of her, but
it is
that's
this
not,
version, yeah.
Because literally she was Kal-El's fucking babysitter. She was older.
Okay.
And he got sent off as a baby, and she was sent after him basically to take care of him.
Yeah.
But along the way, she got sidetracked.
Okay.
And then came to Earth a lot later.
So this is a new origin for you to hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking grew up on a piece of rock that broke off from Krypton.
Yep. Watched everyone around her die and be killed for the first 14 years of her life. So it's not a shock that she's a fucking drunk stumbling around.
Right.
She grew up through some traumatic shit.
So she was sent off as a baby also?
No.
Oh, or this chunk broke off when she was a baby.
Yeah, it broke off because, Krypton was destroyed. It's the whole reason they want to ship them out. In the Superman movies, the old ones, you had a whole hour to show us that that's the kid and it's Krypton, and oh my God, we're going to send them. And then the movie starts. Anyways, but after that, when Krypton blows up, she just survives on a chunk of this fucking planet for 14 years, watching her family being destroyed day in and day out. Sounds like a lot of fun, right?
No.
I mean, I would, if that happened to me and I had these powers, I'd be flying from planet to planet getting wasted too. Why the fuck not, Shit. So anyways, that drops later this year. Speaking of DC, dude, we had DC news this week, Adrian.
Wow.
And yeah. So we saw the Lanterns trailer a couple of weeks back. John Stewart's Lantern, we don't need to go everyone, oh my God, it sucks, oh my God. Anyways.
Yeah,
something. But the reason I'm bringing that up now, since you asked, Adrian, is in James Gunn's Man of Tomorrow. This is a movie that comes out in 2027, July 9th of 27 right now. It's somewhat a sequel to Superman, but also it sounds like it's a sequel to other movies as well, or it's just another movie in this story. And the latest news, now this is not a rumor, this has been confirmed. Aaron Pierce, who's playing John Stewart in Lanterns, will reprise his role in the Man of Tomorrow movie. And I hear this, and I like hearing this, and I'll tell you why. Comics, read a comic. When you read comic books, you'll see multiple characters that are not, like if you got an Incredible Hulk shirt on. If I pick up an Incredible Hulk comic book right now, we're reading World War Hulk right now on the road to Secret Wars. Iron Man's in there, Reed Richards is in there, fucking She-Hulk is in there. Probably Spider-Man, a couple of, who knows. They're all in there. Cap's in there, right?
All the New York people.
All of them, because that's where it's happening, right? So hearing this, I'm like, good. I think that is the one. It's not even a critique, because with the licensing, they use what they had.
Sure.
But one of the things that is missing from a lot of these movies is, you got some shit happening in New York. Daredevil, Kingpin's taking over, right? He's the mayor. Well, what the fuck is Spider-Man doing?
Right.
Why ain't he checking this shit out?
Yep.
Where's Captain America? Where's Falcon America? What's he doing? He knows where New York is.
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
Get it straight.
My bad. But where are all these other motherfuckers?
Right?
Like, I mean, we just watched Winter Soldier last week. You mean to tell me they're pulling up SHIELD helicarriers in DC and they're about to fucking blast everybody and Iron Man didn't pop up?
Right.
Come on. Now, I know why. But so when I hear this, I'm good. I don't, even if it's just a cameo, he should be in there.
Sure.
Right? He's with Hal Jordan, riding around with him, solving some shit out in the fucking Midwest. You got Guy Gardner bouncing all around. Why wouldn't they connect?
And besides the fact that, Green Lantern is kind of one of the core Justice League members, right? I mean, I'm sure they couldn't bring him in, during the Snyder shit, but he is on the Justice League, as well as a bunch of other people.
Correct.
Like hundreds.
And then people go, these are the ones that don't think. Here's one. If you're watching, I don't care, first time, millionth time, I'm gonna challenge everybody today, Adrian. Think for your motherfucking selves.
Damn.
Yes, because I think people hear one little take, someone's take, bro. There would be too many cameos, and then people don't even think about what they said, and they just run with it. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Let me see. There was a lot of cameos in the Avengers movies. There was a lot of cameos in pretty much all that bullshit, right? So I think if you were concerned about cameos, you just might want to get over it, because you're probably going to see a lot of them coming forward.
Absolutely. And I'm ready, bro. Bring them on, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of cameos, speaking of Avengers movies, Lewis Pullman, he plays everybody's favorite meth head, Bob, Sentry, who I think they did a great job of in Thunderbolts, and I'm looking forward to seeing him show back up in the future. And now on this road to Secret Wars that we're reading the comics, there's a lot of Sentry in these comics, so you really get a good understanding of this character, where he's a guy that, he's like Dom's Charger in the first Fast and Furious. He's in the garage. We're scared of what he's gonna do.
Right.
We don't want to take him out unless we fucking have to. Then at the end of the movie, he's got no choice. And then what does he do? He crashes, right?
Right.
That's Sentry in a nutshell. This crazy, most powerful fucking entity, but we got him at home in his apartment watching TV as Bob, because we know what the fuck happens when we use him.
That's kind of what that made me think of was when the Joker tricked Superman into killing Lois and his baby by pushing him up into space and then nuking Metropolis.
Yep.
Joker's a bad motherfucker, right? So Superman, he's like, I'm just done. And he goes and fucking knifes Joker with his hands. And they actually had to bring a future Superman or parallel Superman to 616 in order to control the Superman. And ultimately, they put him in prison and they say, well, we'll let you out when we need you. But outside of that, dude, you got to go.
Damn. I mean, that's pretty much what Sentry is, right? A Superman-esque character that they got to keep fucking home in a meditative state almost. Because when we need them, but fuck, man, holy shit. Like the comics we read this past week, World War Hulk, he's destroying everybody, and now they're bringing in the Sentry.
Right.
They're like, bro, we need you. And they even faked it first. They had Reed use some kind of like equipment to make himself look like Sentry, and Hulk figured it out and crushed his fucking equipment. And then literally I don't know if Reed's dead, but he beat the shit out of Reed, bro. Stretched him out like. Anyways, so now they gotta. After all that's happened, he's destroyed New York. He fucking offed Black Bolt on the moon. He beat the shit out of Iron Man. Now they're bringing in Sentry. So he's there just in case. But he's talking about this movie because he's in Doomsday. And I'll kind of paraphrase. He talked about how the Russos work and basically kind of said they've not lost it. These guys are still in that zone they've been in. They're very good at incorporating everybody. And then he goes on to say that it's a fan's dream movie because every character that is in it has crucial, integral developments that are really exciting. Nobody is kept on ice and is just there to be there. Everyone is there for a reason and their own very individual reason. And it's really exciting. And I think when people say Cameo Fest, that's the shit they're worried about, right? Like, they don't want everyone to just, Daredevil shows up and he's just sitting on a bus and waves, like, fuck it. They don't want everyone to have a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Yeah.
Because then they're wasted, right?
Yep.
You bring in Magneto and he just, high fives fucking Cyclops and you never see him again. You're like, what the fuck?
Or even worse, it's just a poster of Magneto up on the wall and you glance over it. It's like, dude, really? That's not even a cameo.
Exactly. So Pullman here is saying that that's not the case, that everybody that is in this movie has a very integral part of this movie.
Okay.
Doesn't mean they're going to be in the movie for 4 hours, but it means when they're in there, they're needed, it's necessary. And I said this before, people don't pay attention, Adrian, they don't fucking listen.
There's that.
But I'm here to remind them, okay? In any movie, forget about a comic movie. In any movie. We saw the trailer to Disclosure Day. There's a lot of characters, right?
Yeah.
A lot of fucking people.
Yep.
Some you know, some you don't. Some are in there for the whole movie. Some are in there for 10 minutes. Some are in there for 3 or 4 scenes. A lot of them have names. Some don't. Well, in a comic book movie, in this universe where a lot of these characters exist, you can have a ton of people in this movie, and not everybody needs to be the main character. It's just that those background characters, those one-offs, the guys that are there for 2 or 3 scenes, instead of them being just fucking people in society, they're other comic characters.
Right.
They have a brief interaction. So, if you've read comics, you should be okay with it. You should understand that that's going to happen. And that's why I like what they're doing with the DCU. It's very connected. Like, that was one of people's critique about the Superman movie. Well, the Justice Gang was in there so much. Who gives a shit? Why wouldn't they be there? They're right there in Metropolis. Why wouldn't they come outside when there's a giant fucking monster destroying buildings? They just, it's Superman's movie, we can't do it? Come on.
I mean, you can literally have as many characters as in that panel behind you.
Right.
And, it's the director's responsibility to make it make sense.
Yeah. And I think the Russos they've already proved that with Infinity War and Endgame. Dude, how many fucking characters were in the Endgame battle?
A lot.
And they all got to do something important in that battle. Were they all in the battle the entire time all over your screens? Nope. But they all got to do important shit when they were fighting Thanos. So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. There's this actor. You ever heard of Timothée Chalamet?
No.
Okay. He's a 30-year-old actor. He's very talented. All the girls, the girls like, oh my God, Timothy, oh my God, they like him. He played Wonka. Did you see the Wonka movie? I didn't see this. It came out a couple years ago.
I think I remember seeing. I didn't see the movie.
Okay.
I think I saw the trailer.
Got it. So he plays Wonka. He's in a lot of shit. But the reason why he's in the news this week is, people say shit, then they are held accountable. And he said some things that upset a group of people.
Was he stuttering?
No, he wasn't stuttering.
Was he ticking?
It was not a tick. He was talking to Matthew McConaughey. It was at a town hall event that was produced by Variety and CNN last month. And he's talking about the music or the movie industry. And he says he took a shot, but he kind of shit on ballet and opera. Okay. He says, I admire people, I've done it myself, who go on a talk show and say, hey, we've got to keep movie theaters alive. We got to keep this genre alive. And another part of me feels like if people want to see it, like Barbie, like Oppenheimer, they're going to go see it and go out of their way. Then he goes, he doesn't want to be working doesn't want to be working in ballet or opera where it's like, hey, keep this thing alive, even though nobody cares about this anymore. So he said that. And here's the thing, though. And dude, I'm a big freedom of speech. Say what the fuck you want. Say what's on your mind. but you also should think about what you're saying before you say it to make sure it's going to have the impact that you want it to have. Because I don't think he was saying this as like a shot. I think he just was like kind of talking shit a little bit, like having fun on a podcast, maybe. But the thing is, now I'm not an opera guy. Do you like the opera? You ever gone?
I do.
Yeah, you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Okay. What about ballet?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never gone. My kids used to dance. I think ballet is cool as shit. I've never gone to an opera, but I understand that it's an art form that a lot of people enjoy. I respect it as an art form.
Sure.
Right? Is it my vibe? No. You've never heard me say, "Oh, I'm going to the ballet tonight." But I know that in order to do what they do, it takes an insane amount of ability, training. Like my daughter is a gymnast. I get what the fuck goes into this stuff.
Right.
And at that level, it's an elite level. I also know it's been around, dude, forever. Like,
Yep.
So to say that, it's a little careless to say. Now, everyone, you got your own fucking opinion. But to say no one cares about this anymore, I think a lot of people care about it.
Sure. It's definitely not something with because it takes too much attention span. And I think for him, if he would have prefaced for me, I don't think that a lot of people care about this.
Right.
Probably would have been more appropriate, but also in his mind, I don't like that fucking broomstick with the ice curling or whatever. Okay. I think that's stupid as fuck. But that's my opinion. Yeah. Right. But some people obviously like it.
Yeah.
Now, in his mind, because he's younger, these are old disciplines that aren't on his radar.
Right.
Right. Just like curling, it's not on my radar. And I know about it. I kind of have an opinion about it for me, but I'm not going to say, well, this is the stupidest thing. Well, I have said that's the stupidest thing in the world. And I'm also not going to say, well, they should keep it out. No, I've said that too.
Okay.
But
have you said no one's interested in it?
No, I have not said that.
Obviously, motherfuckers are interested in it. It was on my TV for 2 months.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's careless, but, I have the right to have my opinion.
Sure.
I can like something today, and then the thing that I like today, I might not like it tomorrow.
Correct.
But just say that. I mean, but you can't, when these actors, they say these global things that affect their careers, and it's mind-blowing. But also, again, who's finding these dudes and then taping their conversations and just blowing it all out of proportion and shit?
Well, this dude, even though you've not heard of him, I promise if you've seen his picture, you know who he is. He's a pretty big star. The movie Marty Supreme, that's up for all these Oscars and shit. No, but it's a big movie.
Sounds like something from Taco Bell.
No, yeah, this one won't make you shit yourself, Adrian. I haven't seen it, but it's up for a lot of Oscars.
Really?
But yeah, so he's not like the writer we talked about last week. This motherfucker's in the news everywhere. He's a big star right now.
Okay.
So hence why when you say something like this, it's gonna get fucking grabbed and whatever.
Sure.
Dude, the Royal Ballet and Opera, I guess it's like a fucking committee or so, whatever.
Sure.
They responded. They said that ballet and opera has never existed in isolation. And they have continually informed, inspired, and elevated other art forms. There's nothing wrong with that. And then they go on to say that for centuries, these disciplines, fucking centuries, have shaped the way artists create and audiences experience culture. And today, millions of people around the world continue to enjoy and engage with them.
Absolutely. Remember, they didn't have video back in the day.
Correct.
So, your art form was the entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's one of the oldest and one of the more disciplined art forms there is in existence. I mean, since they've taken away gladiators and shit and have them running up behind a ice cube down a bowling alley, but,
right?
Whatever.
How is this tied to what we're talking about today? I got it, Adrian. Watch this. Stay tuned. Steven Spielberg responded. Spielberg 79. He responded. He took a little shot. Now I can appreciate shit like this because he didn't like shit on him. He just kind of like threw a little jab out. Like there, and it's not just him. Jamie Lee Curtis made some comments. Like I think he kind of respectfully got checked here.
Okay, say what you're gonna say about Spielberg, but I also got to say something too.
Okay. So Spielberg, he was talking on a panel this past Friday at the South by Southwest conference. Okay. Wow. He says, and there's nothing like it. It happens in the movies. It happens in, obviously there's more before this, and in concerts. And it happens in ballet and opera, by the way. So he was talking about something about the impact of movies and shit. And he just kind of threw that in there. And then he said, and the crowd started applauding him. And he said, we want that to be sustained. We want that to go forever. So no one like shit on the dude, but there's been a handful of people like just throwing that out there like, bro, check yourself a little bit.
Right. They didn't exactly, Oscar slapping, but they walked up on the stage and stared at him.
Exactly.
Right? So here's the thing. Who's saying these things? Who's responding? The fucking oldest, the goat of the organizations about the ballet, right?
Yep.
Spielberg, Jamie Lee Curtis. What are they? 60, 70, 900 years old?
Pretty much when you add them up, yeah.
What young person responded to whatever he said? Nobody. Yeah. Right? Because he's a young person. And so these things, now, he should learn to adopt. Like, listen, I don't know about that industry.
Right.
I don't know that much about it. First of all, it sounds like nobody even brought up the ballet. He just kind of threw that out there like a jab.
Yeah, he's like attacked them.
Right. But it's the older people, older organizations that's responding to a young mind. And it's kind of, okay, I get the check.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of on the fence, hey, say whatever the fuck you want to say. But again, you're in this industry where it's being proven that you just can't come out of the side of your mouth with whatever you want without repercussions. So, even though I do think this is kind of like a slight thing.
Oh, it is.
I don't think it should get the attention that it's getting, but whatever.
It's getting the attention because of who he is. That's the only reason. Because if I don't know, Sebastian Stan said it, they'd be like, huh? What's he talking? Is the Avengers movie coming out, bro? I mean, I love Sebastian. He's a great actor, but I don't know. Like, this guy is a fucking blockbuster. He's the guy right now, for these. Okay. Oh my God, look at him. Oh my God. So anyway, but I do like, I also would say, first of all, I know what the fuck was going through his head when he said it, right? But the way he said it, I don't think it was like a hill he was willing to die on. I think he was just making a comment, trying to like make a joke almost, right? Like, oh, it's not like ballet or any of that stuff.
Or maybe in his mind, based on his experience and the things that he's aware of, maybe he was trying to put something in perspective and using ballet, which is, not thinking about the fact that it's centuries old,
right?
But it's just not out there like this other thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it could have just been bad fucking delivery, but I mean, and really, what should he do if he really feels that way? He should come out and go, "Well, I fucking don't like it." Or if he doesn't and he just misspoke, just go, "Yo, my bad."
Sure.
I didn't mean to offend nobody about ballet and shit like that. I understand the work that goes into it. For someone my age, it's not as popular as movies and stuff.
There you go.
But you just got to be careful with what you say sometimes,
Damn.
Yes. I mean, it's the price of fame.
Sure.
I can say whatever the fuck I want on here. People ain't getting their panties in a bunch, Adrian. No one fucking knows who I am.
Well, apparently somebody
Some of them. But at that level, shit, you got to watch what the fuck. It comes with the territory. Speaking of Steven Spielberg, he's 79, by the way. So he's checking his like grandson. Like, listen, little kid, the fuck, take your shoes off when you come to my house, bitch. Yep. Language. Disclosure Day. So this movie, I've heard about this. You heard about this before we saw the trailer?
I heard about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was something else though, based off of all the other disclosures we've seen.
Okay. What'd you think? It was like a documentary or something?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. Now it's Spielberg's back at it, dude. He is someone who is, dude. He's always flirted with this alien, extraterrestrial type of stories, right? And I mean, he's got E.T. Classic. He's got Close Encounters.
Yeah.
Now, and then he's got the movie AI, Minority Report, War of the Worlds. His last sci-fi film was Ready Player One, which, I mean, that's not really an alien, it's an AI, gaming type of
Close
setup.
enough.
Close enough. I mean, it's still, still sci-fi. I enjoyed it. It was based on a book, but I really enjoyed that movie. But E.T. and Close Encounters, I've never seen Close Encounters. You have?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You've never seen E.T.?
No.
No, I have. So we had an expert on both sides here, right? So E.T. is essentially about a family finding a little fucking alien in their backyard, okay? I mean, I'm summing it up. They bring him in. He lives with them. Oh, my God. He ends up getting sick and reaches out, and his family comes and picks him up at the end. I glazed over or glossed over a lot of stuff. Close Encounters. Here's one of the things I've heard about Close Encounters, and I would be interested to hear your take on this movie. The one thing I've heard about Close Encounters is that the aliens that he depicted in that movie are very close to actual beings that the government have found.
Sure.
That's what I've heard. Now, that's as if you're putting your fucking tinfoil hat on. So, Close Encounters. Tell me about Close Encounters, Adrian.
So Close Encounters is it's kind of like a psychological thriller because so there's this kid, he jumps out a window, he's following his noise or something, he's being drawn to something.
Yeah.
And his mother goes looking for him. Then you have this other guy, he's like an engineer. He's being drawn to kind of the same thing, but they don't know it. He's like goes like ape shit. Richard Dreyfuss, right?
Yep.
He goes ape shit and he started, building this mud thing in his house and he don't even know what it is. Next thing you know, all his furniture, he's throwing furniture out the window and he's just, imagine this whole room, just this mountainous blob of dirt and mud and shit. He doesn't know what he's building until he sees it on TV. He's actually replicating, and the woman, she was doing something different, like crayons or chalk or charcoal or some bullshit.
So they like possessed almost.
Kind of, yeah. So, but they got this image in their head and they're trying to figure out what it is. And so one day, this mountain comes up on TV on the news and they're like, oh shit, that's it. So they start going toward it, right? And ultimately they get there and the government's talking about, some gas fucking leak or whatever, because they're trying to keep everybody away from it because they understand that this event is going to happen. They're trying to keep everybody away from it. But these certain people, they're squirreling their way across the country to get to it. And they get up and Dreyfuss' character is one of those characters that, so the little boy goes away, disappears, the aliens take him. And when they meet, they go through this song and dance thing that started in India and everybody's praising the Mahatma and all that kind of shit.
Do they anally probe him or is that just some shit people make up?
No.
Okay.
So they on top of this mountain and they meeting and they bomb and all this kind of bullshit. And the alien comes out, he's like little gray. And then eventually they bring the boy back to his mom. The mom runs up. And then I think the Dreyfuss character actually leaves with them. So it's like it's a planned first encounter, peaceful, very, heartwarming, good feeling kind of a shit.
So you like this movie?
Yeah. I watch it every once in a while.
Really? I'm going to have to watch this one. This one I am. I know, I say that about a lot of stuff, Adrian, but this one I'm really going to watch.
Okay.
It's got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way. So you think that's pretty accurate? Yeah? You think it deserves that score?
Absolutely.
So Steven Spielberg's back at it, dude. So he's got Close Encounters. He's got E.T. Again, E.T. as a kid, dude. I've seen that movie fucking 800 times. On VHS, by the way. Big old fucking plastic brick. But he's got this new movie coming out, Disclosure Day. Now, you said you originally thought it was something else. You thought it was like another documentary or some shit.
Yeah.
After we saw the trailer earlier, what'd you think?
It has the Independence Day kind of a feel to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really disclose what the aliens are going to look like.
Right.
Sound like some lizard people shit.
Yeah.
Right. With all the clicking and all that crap that's going on. I never seen any green man, little green man or gray man clicking. But so it's interesting. Yeah. It's intriguing. It also feels like they've been here. They've done some genetic manipulation or some fucking, right?
Yep.
And now the children of those hybrids are growing up and they're in society, kind of a deal. Because there's one woman, she starts doing some stuff and she's not aware of what's happening.
Right.
So,
and there's the one guy understands her.
Yes.
Which kind of reminds me of how you were explaining Close Encounters, where these guys that are like almost possessed or under this trance doing stuff, they're doing this shit, not knowing what's going on.
Right.
But then when they see it on TV, they're like, oh, that's what we're doing.
Right.
Here you got this making all fucking clicking noises, but one dude's like, I know what she's saying.
Right. So they're both probably hybrids.
They've both been anally probed.
No.
No,
they're hybrids. So they're like the children of something, because this shit's been around since the 50s or whatever. This whole alien thing.
Yeah.
But we all know they've been around for thousands of years.
Right.
Tens of thousands of years, right? So the angels come down from heaven and they like the women that they see and they made them because they want them for their own and all this. So anyway, this is a different kind of copulation.
Yeah.
So I think this movie is about hybrids. The woman clicking, not knowing about it, and the guy able to understand her.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty cool.
Dude, maybe it's gonna tell the Anunnaki story, Adrian. Maybe that's what Disclosure Day is all about. But the whole term disclosure, if there was a documentary that came out earlier last year, or fucking midpoint last year, called The Day of Disclosure, right? Or Age of Disclosure. That's what it's, Age of Disclosure. And what they disclosed, and we've talked about this, in depth, but in a nutshell, it wasn't a bad documentary. It just wasn't anything new that was shown to us.
Right.
I think the big takeaway was, instead of some random filmmaker in fucking South Dakota, these were government officials in high level, positions going, oh yeah, no, that shit's true.
Right.
I can't tell you much, but I can tell you that it's true. I can tell you that we got alien tech. I can tell you that we've been working on this secret project in reverse engineering, but I can't tell you any details about the tech. It's in a nutshell. Right. I just saved you fucking 2.5 hours in 1995.
Right. Because really, they just regurgitate the same shit that you've seen in other disclosures. It's just, like you said, who the people are that's actually saying it. Except, what is it, Luis Alessandro or whatever the fuck. Every time I see him, I'm like, dude, this is fake. This is fake news.
It's fake news.
But so that was from last year. I think they got another disclosure that came out this year.
Yeah.
Disclosure, Hell's Kitchen or some bullshit. I don't know.
Hell's Kitchen.
I don't know.
But so the disclosure, this could tie into that theory, or it could just be, Spielberg using that term because it's something that's pretty popular out there now, But I'm interested in this.
Well, I know this. Directors, especially someone who has Spielberg's tenure in the industry, they have access and they have been exposed to a lot of shit.
Yes.
And it wouldn't surprise me if this shit is just leaking out of their head, the information that they have access to or they know. So they got to their challenge is, how do I disclose this and not get disappeared?
Right. Make a movie.
So, I mean, but even with that, you got to be careful about how you make that movie too, dude.
Yep.
You got to be careful because it's like, when they're looking at somebody like Spielberg, they're going to be like, that's a little bit too close to the truth. Besides the fact that, Trump has to, the government, the FBI, CIA, they actually review these fucking movies before they go out to make sure that they're showing America in the correct light, or showing, China is wrong, and black people as the menace of the planet. They got to make sure all these things are, they got a check box of things, checklist of things they got to go down before these movies actually go out. So for him to do this means that you have to carefully craft and then get past all this censorship.
Right. So there's gonna be some shit, some seeds planted here. Maybe they're prepping us for the actual Disclosure Day when they do tell us at some point. Maybe it's a test. See how we react.
Imagine if the movie, that clicking sound, if they do some, how they have a warning on some movies, like, hey, they have flashing lights if you're epileptic or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if they don't say that, but they got these sounds that they put out in the movie just randomly, and then people like fucking Mark who's the
Wahlberg?
No, not Wahlberg. The fucking Facebook guy.
Oh, Zuckerberg.
Yeah, him too. Yeah. So Zuckerberg all of a sudden fucking
starts clicking.
No, he's like turned into like a lizard and shit on the screen.
He's definitely a fucking reptilian, that motherfucker. Him, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, all of them. Anyways.
Fucking Michael Jackson comes up out the grave and shit.
Right? Just like Thriller. He starts doing a fucking Thriller dance. Oh, yo, that would be insane. But dude, I'm looking forward to this movie. I want to see this shit.
Sure.
Disclosure Day. Fucking aliens are coming. Oh my God. And there was one point in the trailer where you start to see, like you talk about that Independence Day moment, that giant fucking ship showing up. Yep. But I like you said that they didn't show us a whole lot. Like, it's the movie's Disclosure Day, but they didn't disclose much in this trailer,
Right.
which is good.
Right.
Let's fucking keep it that way.
Well, guess where they probably learned that from? The comic book shit that you guys have been watching, right?
Yes.
That's superior marketing.
Everyone's so mad. You didn't tell us nothing, bro. Bitch, you're on here talking about it, aren't you?
Exactly.
It's like you're getting fucking worked and you don't even know it, dude. You work yourself into a shoot, brother. Anyways, this is Hulk Hogan, dude. That's a whole nother fucking story there. You work yourself into a shoot yourself into a work. Anyways, we're gonna wrap up the news and rumors segment, Adrian. We're just getting started. Just like the first half of the show, dude. With a little bit of thumbs up or thumbs down. It's pretty simple. We give you our motherfucking opinions, and our opinions are right. Yours are wrong. That's why you're fucking watching us, because you want to learn the right opinion. I'm just kidding. The best are people that can like disagree and not get all fucking offended. Like there's people literally, and I got some comments later, but were like, just because you said that, I'm not watching your videos anymore because I don't agree. Like, so you only want to watch shit
that you agree with? Sounds like it.
Like, dude, some of my favorite movies are the movies where the hero does not win. Because you go in and you're expecting him to win, and every other movie the guy wins, and yeah, you're like, oh shit, the main character died. Right. That's a crazy twist. I like a little bit of controversy. So
there you go.
All right, ready, Adrian?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Number one, Sony Pictures is extending their theatrical release window for Spider-Man Brand New Day. This thing's going to be in the theaters for 60 days. So you can go see it like 8 times if you want. I give this a thumbs up.
Sure.
Getting back to normal, Adrian. It's only fucking 6 years later. Another Spider-Man Brand New Day piece of news is that they dropped the website. They posted their website for Spider-Man Brand New Day last week. And no, we won't call these guys hackers. Some snoopers. They're snooping around the website code. And they found a link that says, watch the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. So we're thinking it's dropping this week. I give this a thumbs up. Ready for a little Spider-Man trailer.
Nice. Again, different kind of marketing. Yeah. But I think it was intentional.
It was intentional.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't be shocked, dude. Marvel Studios and Sony are rumored to be interested in a Spider-Man Wolverine movie. I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Sony knowing that they have to actually use Spider-Man and not all these other characters for once. Millie Alcock is teasing a messy take on Kara. She said it's okay for girls to be a bit bad and messy, she says. In this movie, Supergirl drops June 26th. I give this, and what we're talking about is this, I guess, edgy kind of version, this different version of Supergirl where she's going through some shit and she ain't, Clark. So I give this a thumbs up.
Sure.
I wouldn't want to see a movie of just a girl playing Superman. Like, we already got Superman. Let's make it something different. So, Man of Tomorrow comes.
Was the dog going to be in that?
Oh, yeah, of course, bro. Crypto's in the house. Come on. Man of Tomorrow, speaking of Superman, drops July 9th of 27. But we've just heard a report that Aaron Pierre, who's playing John Stewart in Lanterns, is also confirmed to reprise his role in James Gunn's Man of Tomorrow. I'll give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Now, that is predictive, right? Yep. So they expect this movie to do better than the first Green Lantern.
Yes.
Number one.
Sure.
So that's pretty interesting.
Yep, absolutely. Cool. Nice connected units. Too many cameos. Oh my God. Well, speaking of cameos, Avengers Doomsday is probably going to have the most cameos in any comic movie, period. But don't worry. Lewis Pullman, who plays Sentry, Bob, everybody's favorite meth head, says that the Russo brothers, they got this shit. And I'm paraphrasing. But he said that everyone in this movie is in there for a reason. They all have integral developments. It's really exciting. Nobody is just there to be there. So I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Timothée Chalamet got in a little trouble, Adrian. He's talking about nobody watches ballet or opera. You watch both. So maybe he didn't know you. That's the problem.
No.
But he
I'm
said
probably a little older.
A little bit older. He's 30, so he's a younger fella. He said this. A lot of people got all upset. Oh my God, don't say that. Oh my God. But the news here is that a few individuals, Steven Spielberg being one, Jamie Lee Curtis, a few others, kind of politely checked him. They didn't call him out, but they I guess gave opera and ballet a little bit of praise.
Sure.
I give it a thumbs up, dude.
Thumbs up. Expand your mind.
Yes. And also, don't be mad at the fucking kid for saying it. He's 30 years old. Like, relax.
That too.
That's why you got Spielberg, who's almost 80, kind of like, hey, dude, ballet and stuff's cool too. That was it.
Right.
Didn't say anything bad about Timothée over here. Speaking of Spielberg, Disclosure Day. We saw the trailer. We saw this earlier today. The release date of this movie is now official, June 12th of this year. I'm giving this a thumbs up, dude.
Thumbs up.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
We're thumbs up across the board today, Adrian. We are motherfucking positive. Well, you know what? We're going to keep on the double Y because I got another segment here called What's Next? Because we've been saying this to people that we're going on a fucking ride this year with content. And I got the stats to back that up, okay? So I got a list, and fact check this, because some of it was Gemini, some of it was Google, some of it was me just making shit up, maybe. But these are the expected releases, confirmed releases for 2026. And I think what we'll do is, Adrian, we'll just continue a thumbs up, thumbs down. So if and a thumbs up being like, yeah, I'm interested in seeing this, and a thumbs down, like, no, I don't care about this project. Okay,
Let's do it.
All right. So the first one is Project Hail Mary. This comes out next week. You seen this trailer? A space movie. All I know is there's a spaceship and they're going out in space. You know, but I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. I am interested in seeing this one.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up too.
Okay. You hesitated. You're a little.
I'm just,
Another fucking space movie. Oh my God, we're in space. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 starts March 24th. Give this a huge thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
The Super Mario Galaxy movie, April 1st. I'm giving that a thumbs up.
The what?
Super Mario Galaxy.
Nah, don't give a fuck.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
The Boys Season 5, April 8th.
Thumbs down.
up. Thumbs down. You're off The Boys, huh?
Nah.
Mortal Kombat 2, May 8th. Thumbs up.
Mortal Kombat 2, thumbs down.
The Mandalorian and Grogu, May 22nd. Movie. Give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Spider Noir, May 27th. Fucking thumbs up. Let's go.
Up.
Scary Movie 6, June 5th. I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Disclosure Day, June 12th. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Toy Story 5, June 19th. I give that a thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
I didn't like the last one. Supergirl, June 26th. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
The live-action Moana movie, July 10th. I give that a thumbs down.
Down.
The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's new movie.
Thumbs up.
I give that a thumbs up. Spider-Man Brand New Day, July 31st. Thumbs up.
Thumbs
I'm
up.
sorry, The Odyssey was July 17th. Avengers Endgame re-release, September 25th in the theaters. I give that a thumbs up because we got to pass James Cameron's bitch ass.
Right. Thumbs down.
Street Fighter, October 16th. Thumbs up.
Thumbs down.
Clayface, October 23rd. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And Avengers Doomsday, December 18th, a motherfucking thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And we got some that we don't have the exact dates, but The Punisher special presentation, it's a one-off, middle of the year, give that a thumbs up.
Yep.
X-Men 97 Season 2 in the summer, I give that a thumbs up.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Thumbs up. It's a lot of shit.
It is. Oh, we got more. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, fall of 26, thumbs up. Vision Quest, late 26. I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, fucking Ultron coming back, Jocasta being introduced, the White Vision's back. One thing I learned about White Vision is he has no emotion. So remember, WandaVision, they created their own vision. And then Wanda's vision that she created planted or whatever. Gave all of his Vision's actual memories to the White Vision. So White Vision has the memories. Here's the thing, though. In the comics, White Vision has no emotion. So he's got all the memories of Wanda and everything they've gone through, but he's got no emotion attached to it. So he's not going to be the Vision that we're all used to.
Right.
So that's interesting. And then Lanterns, late next year as well. Give that a thumbs up.
Yep.
But, dude, think about this shit. Like, we are in...
Wait a minute. Late next year?
I'm sorry, late this year.
Okay.
Late this year. I forgot we're fucking half the year's over already. Shit. It's almost Christmas. I could just leave my Christmas stuff up,
There you go.
Well, now that the snow melted, I can see it. So I'm actually going to be able to remove it now. So that's cool.
That.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I thought you kept some shit up year round.
I keep the permanent lights on my house up, yeah. All but the big inflatables, I needed the fucking snow to melt, So, but dude, think about this schedule. We're, mid-March right now. Next week, Project Hail Mary. Then the week after that, Daredevil Born Again. Then April. So that's a couple weeks, right? After the 24th. So 2 weeks later, you got Super Mario. You're not a big fan of this. I am. The Boys, April 8th. It starts. It's going to be a weekly show. Then in May, so that's 2 months now, Mortal Kombat 2, Mandalorians, the end of May. And so is Spider Noir the end of May. It's 3 fucking projects in May.
Right.
Then June, you got 3 projects: Scary Movie 6, Disclosure Day, and Toy Story. Well, you can kind of leave that one out. You have Supergirl. Dude, that's every fucking couple weeks. Then July, if you're skipping Moana, you got The Odyssey, the 17th. And then 2 weeks later on the 31st, you got Spider-Man Brand New Day. Then if you're skipping Avengers, then August and September, there's no movies. But Spider-Man, X-Men 97 is rumored for the summer. So I'd assume it'd drop at one of those points, right? So that's going to fill that part. And then October, you got Street Fighter, Clayface. Nothing in November, but you have Spider-Man, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man fall of 26. So that could fill the November slot. Vision Quest is late 26. That could fill that too. Maybe Lanterns, who knows? And then you have Avengers Doomsday to end off the year in December. Dude, that's a lot of shit.
Yeah. What did August and November do to piss the movie industry off? It's like
Right?
nothing's dropping in those months. Sounds like it.
It does. Yeah, I mean, you would assume maybe because school's back in August.
Too much disruption, chaos.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a reason,
sense,
right? Because look how loaded fucking June and July is.
Right.
That's the time. Summer, kids are out. I mean, that's where all these blockbusters are put out.
Sure.
So yeah, in
Because
November,
you have more time to actually get into the theater.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In November, you got Thanksgiving and all that. So, oh my God, Turkey Day. Oh my God.
When is that holiday just going to fall off the books?
Just
nobody
my
cares.
holiday.
No,
everybody. So you're sounding like Timothée Chalamet right now.
No, I'm not saying it because I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it. It's just that you go right from Halloween to Christmas, dude. I mean,
Yes.
If you follow the box stores or any of
True.
the other stores, they literally go from Halloween with the 800-foot skeletons,
Yes.
right, to Christmas.
True. I look at it like this. I've changed my perspective. That's how I've been able to deal with this. Thanksgiving is part of the Christmas season.
Ah, okay.
Once Halloween is over, the Christmas season begins, Adrian.
Yeah,
November 1st,
it
okay?
absolutely does.
So I'm not looking at it like we just gloss over Thanksgiving. That's part of the Christmas season,
okay.
bro. You got
okay, I like that. I like that. Yeah.
So is New Year's. New Year's Eve is
Yeah.
part of the Christmas. It's still cold,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Fuck. There's probably still snow out,
Yeah,
you know?
probably.
So
Or just starting.
just starting. Yeah, over here it's kind of, we should move Christmas later, but you know, I don't know. Anyways, well, that is what's next. So let us know. What are you most excited about on this list? If you had to pick one, I mean, what are you most anticipated on this list?
I would say Disclosure and Doomsday.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good two. I went straight to Doomsday. If I had to pick a second, it would probably be Spider-Man. I mean, but Disclosure Day is up there too. I'm interested, Steven Spielberg, see what your 79-year-old ass is going to deliver to us.
Yep.
Shit. That'd be some shit too. At almost 80, delivering another fucking banger, Adrian.
Right.
AWOB, you know?
There you
Shit.
go.
Anyways, well, moving on. All right, next segment. This is something we started a few weeks back, and I'm enjoying it because I'm learning a lot about characters that I thought I knew about. You know, it's kind of that's the theme of this segment. It's I guess what the difference between hidden gem is. Hidden gem, a lot of times you're finding characters that no one would even fucking think of, and like, hey, this guy's awesome, or things about characters that we think we know. But these are characters, like we've had Odin on here. We fucking one knows Odin. We had Daredevil. We had Jean Grey. And I learned a shit ton about all of them.
Right.
The one this week, this was actually a request for a few weeks. They asked me like 5 times finally. I'm like, all right, dude, we'll fucking do it. This is your boy Shang-Chi, Adrian.
Shang-Chi. Okay.
Who the fuck is Shang-Chi, you say? Dude, I learned a lot doing this deep dive. So, and we're going to talk about predominantly the comic Shang-Chi, because it is a little different than the on-screen one.
Okay.
The on-screen one with the 10 rings is something that we'll probably get into on other stuff if we don't have time here. But we're talking about Shang-Chi's origin a little bit. And it also, there's some dragons involved, Adrian. And this week on other stuff, we're finally going to enter the dragon. Okay, we're going to find out why the fuck are there dragons on the goddamn fucking calendar.
Enter the Dragon. Sounds naughty.
It does sound naughty, and if you're down with it, then you can enter the dragon if you want, you know? I am not going to be held accountable for what happens to you when you get up in the dragon. That's on you. So let's talk about Shang-Chi's father. He's got daddy issues, Adrian, but he didn't. Not for a long time, because he was raised by this fella, Zhang Zhu, who was originally named Fu Manchu. Okay, I probably fucked those, pronunciations up. But anyways, in the 70s in the comics, Marvel had this character. Then they lost the rights to him for some reason. We're not getting into that now. It doesn't really matter here. But Zhang Zhu, he wasn't a bank robber. He was an immortal ancient sorcerer and a criminal mastermind who controlled a global shadow empire called the Five Weapons Society. Okay. But the thing about it is, he wasn't always a supervillain. So back in the Qiang dynasty in the 1700s, Zhang Zhu and his younger brother, Zhang Yi, they were powerful sorcerers. They had 5 disciples. They founded the Five Weapons Society to protect China from mystical and foreign threats like Dormammu and Fing Fang Foom. Well, what is Fing Fang Foom, Adrian?
Dragon.
A dragon. What are you doing, building a house out there? They use mystical artifact called Eyes of the Dragon to extend their lifespan. So they're using this artifact to extend their spans. But during a massive battle during the Opium Wars, Zhang Yi sacrificed his own life to save his brother, granting his brother true immortality and restoring his youth. So this guy's old as dog shit, okay? But imagine if you can take old dog shit and turn back the hands of time and making it fresh new dog shit, okay?
Wow.
It's kind of like that, but different because he's a person. So makes him immoral,
Immoral or immortal?
Probably both. Immoral. I think that was a Freudian slip. He is definitely immoral, but he's immortal as well. So without his brother's kind of moral compass, Zhu becomes bitter, cold, ruthless, and he decided that humanity was weak and needed to be controlled, like most people with a lot of power, right?
Yeah.
And then he turned the Five Weapons Society into a global criminal network, okay? Big old empire. And he took on the alias Fu Manchu to strike fear in the Western world. All right, so he is also the ultimate gaslighter, Adrian, because he raises Shang-Chi, brings him up, and him and his sister raised them in the House of the Deadly Hand, which is a hidden retreat in China, which we saw in the Shang-Chi movie, right? They're in this, hidden, isolated from the modern world. Shang-Chi grew up in a bubble. He thought his dad was the fucking greatest guy on the planet, dude. He played the role of a loving father, but he told Shang-Chi they were working for world peace, okay? But he put him through the most brutal, lethal combat training in human history. He was creating a fucking weapon with his son, but he's telling his son he's turning him into a weapon so you could be a healing tool, actually. Okay, he's tricking him, Adrian.
Sure.
A little trickery. One time, him and his little sister, Shihu, accidentally broke into one of their dad's forbidden dark magic labs. You got that one room you don't go in.
Sure.
Well, they fucking broke in there. Dad was furious. He told Shang-Chi that he executed his sister to teach him a lesson.
Damn.
Yes. Now, what he really did was he shipped her off to Russia to be the head of the House of the Deadly Hammer, and then leaving Shang-Chi to live with this guilt of like, y'all broke into my shit. That's why I killed your sister.
Damn.
It's kind of fucked up a little bit, right?
It is. It is.
And he's a kid at this time. So when Shang-Chi turns 19, his father sends him on his first official mission, go to London and assassinate this old man. Now, his dad claimed that this guy was a diabolical threat to global peace. Shang-Chi killed the man effortlessly, like literally fucking hit him once, killed him, right? We'll talk about why he's able to do that in a minute. Then Shang-Chi was confronted by Sir Dennis Nayland Smith of the British MI6. And Smith pulled back the curtain and told Shang-Chi the truth, that the guy you killed was innocent, that your dad is this emperor of this global underworld. So he fucking told him everything.
Right.
And Shang-Chi's pissed now. So he marches back to his dad's base in New York, fucking whoops everybody's ass, all the guards, because he's Shang-Chi, right? He looked his father in the eye and he told him, from that day forward, we are mortal enemies. You're a bitch. I fucking hate you, motherfucker. I hate your dad.
Damn.
Yeah, that kind of shit,
Wait, but so for him to just sit down with this one cat that he doesn't know,
Yep.
Now, he loves and idolizes his father.
Yes.
But for him to sit down once with this cat and he tells him this stuff that changes his whole idea about what his father is, he had to have suspected something early on.
Yeah.
You know, the seed had to have been planted early on.
Well, probably when they broke into the fucking dark magic room, like, bro, what you got all this shit in here for, you know?
Well, and the fact that he probably wanted something to tip him over anyway, because according to, in his mind, his father killed his sister.
Correct. Yeah, so he's got, you're saying he's kind of suspected. He's got to have suspected something.
Right.
And then this guy's just like, hey, look at all this shit. Like, fuck it, I knew something was up with that motherfucker. Anyways, so now they're rivals, Adrian. Now, thing about Shang-Chi's dad, Zhang Zhu, he had other children as well. So he created this 5-weapon society based on the heavenly weapons of Tao Lo. So Shang-Chi was raised to be the champion of the deadly hand. Zhu and his other kids were scattered across the globe in isolation to lead other houses. So he had Sister Hammer in Russia, Brother Saber in Japan, Sister Dagger in France, and then Brother and Sister Staff in England. So Zhang Zhu created a bloodline of these elite assassins, and he put them all against each other for his own approval. So he's a sick fuck. Eventually he dies, and he still fucking haunts his kid from the grave. So he's a motherfucker. But let's talk about Shang-Chi and his power. He's not a superpowered individual, but he's technically the baseline human. But he actually could fucking stand next to Thor in some ways because his power is chi manipulation. Okay, did you know this shit?
No.
I have fucking no idea. So what is chi? It's not magic. In the Marvel Universe, chi is the bioelectric life force energy that flows through all living things, okay?
Wait a minute. So this is kind of like what I was talking about a few weeks, months, last year, whatever, about how these individuals, they might not have the power themselves, but a mutant doesn't necessarily have a power.
Yeah.
They have the ability to control a power that sits externally, but it looks like it's coming from them.
Right.
It sounds like this is what this dude does.
It is. The only difference is this is something that's in everybody.
Right.
He just has the ability to control it more than anyone.
Sure.
Right? So this bioelectric life force flows through everybody. Shang-Chi has unlocked 100% conscious control over his autonomic nervous system. He literally can control his own nervous system.
Sure.
So one of the things he can do is superhuman striking. This is why when Shang-Chi hits you, dude, it ain't like a dude hitting you. It's like a fucking god hitting you. He can focus his chi into his fist or feet. He bypasses the limits of human bone and muscle. He can punch through reinforced steel doors, shatter brick walls. He can dent Iron Man's armor. He hits with the force of a bomb because he focuses the kinetic energy of his entire life force into a single millimeter of impact. So, I mean, literally channeling everything he has in him with every individual strike.
Sounds like Karnak from the Inhumans.
Yep. He also has a healing factor because he controls his nervous system. He can slow his heart rate to survive without oxygen for extended periods. If he's poisoned or injected with venom or anally probed, I probably threw that part in there, he can use his chi to isolate the toxin in his bloodstream and literally sweat or bleed it out to purge his system. He can also numb his own pain receptors to keep fighting with broken bones. So that's the superhuman striking, the healing factor. Then he also has God tier reflexes, okay? Not like a spider sense. He doesn't have a magical warning system or something that gives him power. His mastery of his chi makes him hyper aware of his surroundings. He reads the microscopic muscle twitches, breathing patterns, and shifting of weight of his opponents, almost like a daredevil would.
Right.
He has dodged machine gun fire point blank because he moves before the trigger is fully pulled. That's insane, dude.
So when you say dodge machine gun fire, but then you say he moves before the trigger is pulled, to me, that's different than, because when you say machine gun fire specifically, now, if you would have said, he can dodge a bullet, sure. He doesn't dodge the bullet. he reacts before the bullet is pulled. I mean, the trigger's pulled.
Yeah.
But to dodge machine gun fire is you're not moving before the trigger's pulled. You're moving before the bullet gets to the position that you are. That's completely different to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Wonder Woman can fucking dodge a bullet.
Sure.
Superman can dodge a bullet. That's speed.
Right.
But to move out of the way because you hear somebody's finger bones or muscles cracking, that's different.
It's like you're talking about how different characters fly. Some, like Jean, uses her own telekinesis to move her body.
Sure.
Right? Some motherfuckers flying out there with wings and shit. People do. So dodging, it may all look the same.
Sure.
But his dodging is more like a daredevil dodge. Yes, like Matt hears your fucking muscle fibers tear and he knows where the punch is coming from before it gets there. He's not looking at it and it being in slow motion like a Quicksilver and moving.
Exactly.
He's moving. Now, when you see it, it all looks the same.
Sure.
But yeah, so to your point, Shang-Chi is using this chi to anticipate and feel what's coming next, which is why he can dodge a machine gun because he's ahead of it. Right? He knows where they're fucking going before they move.
Sure.
Crazy fucking power though. So he let's see. Oh, his fighting. So that's just how he uses the chi. The other thing about Shang-Chi is he's a master of a lot of different forms of combat.
More than Batman?
I don't think he's more than Batman because his seems to be specific to Chinese forms of martial arts, and obviously Batman's is worldwide, and he's created his own. But dude, he's up there. Now you could argue maybe with the use of chi, maybe he could have an edge on Batman. I don't know. But it's Batman. No one has an edge on Batman. What am I? Am I getting crazy here?
He's slipping.
Yeah,
slipping.
I'm sorry, dude. I mean, Batman's right back there. My bad, dude. No, fucking he whip his ass. Obviously, shit. So he's not just a kung fu guy, Adrian. He mastered Tai Chi, redirecting the kinetic energy. We talked about this last week. Wing Chun, which is devastating close quarters, rapid fire, trapping, and striking. You see Shang-Chi almost like Iron Fist sometimes, fucking throwing out a million hits at you, like, holy shit, dude. Wushu, not Wusa. That's what some of y'all need to do. Wushu. It's the acrobatic, fluid, high-flying movements and Shaolin animal styles. He switches between them seamlessly mid-fight, making his rhythm impossible for even a computer to calculate. So that's the other thing. Not only does he know all these different styles, dude, he weaves them in and out differently. So you can't take an Iron Man fucking suit and predict his fighting because it's unpredictable. You don't know what's coming next.
Which is a fighting style. And we talked about this with Batman.
Yeah.
He knows 120 plus fighting styles, but the fact that he can use them all together, that's a fighting style.
Right. Dude, he's also trained a lot of other heroes. I didn't know this shit. So Spider-Man, in one comic, he completely lost his spider sense. Oh my God, I can't get my Spidey web out anymore. Where did Peter go, bro? He went to Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi trained him in a custom martial arts called the Way of the Spider, so Peter could fight blind without his powers. He's also trained Wolverine, Captain America, and Domino.
Wait a minute. So Spider-Man just lost his Spidey sense, not his other powers.
Right, just his Spidey sense.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yes, but he taught him how to how to fight blind with this martial arts, way of the spider, this custom art style that he created to compensate for not having the spider sense.
Right.
And then to train Wolverine, who's been around for fucking centuries, right? And Cap's the ultimate fucking soldier, right? Shang-Chi also gave him some tips.
Well, the thing about it is like, so the Way of the Spider, right? So you got to think about Spider-Man's powers. He has strength, incredible speed, flexibility, and then the whole wall climbing thing.
Yes.
So he has to create a martial art that's specific to that utilizes all those strengths, right? So
yeah, that would only work for him or someone that has those similar abilities, right? He also's got some weapons, dude. Now the fists are weapons in their own, but first of all, he can turn anything into a fucking weapon: a tree branch, a staff, a damn broomstick. Don't matter.
Wait a minute. So he's not super powered, but he channels chi to achieve all these things.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep. He's so in tune and has such a control over his nervous system that he can channel that chi to do whatever the fuck he wants. almost like, and maybe it's not one for one, but we talk about the Lanterns a lot lately, and they have to have, what is it, their own will to create these constructs.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like that, right? He's got full control over this stuff. Like he's gotta be so in touch with that to make this shit happen. So anyway, he can turn anything into a fucking weapon. He uses a double-edged straight sword a lot, and also nunchucks. You see him with nunchucks a lot. When he joined the Avengers in the comics, Tony Stark realized that, dude, punching Thanos' minions with your bare hands is probably a bad idea. Mm-hmm. So he built Shang-Chi custom repulsor tech nunchucks that projected hard light energy blades and custom gauntlets that amplified his chi to level buildings. So now he's not giving him powers, but he's giving him some tech to amplify the powers that he already has, which put him on the level to fight much bigger, more powerful characters.
Karnak can do that without all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But Karnak has an actual power.
He has power. He's an inhuman.
Well, his power is to basically find the fault line in everything.
Got it. And the 10 rings, this is something that was introduced to Shang-Chi in the MCU. But now, recently, they gave the comic book Shang-Chi the 10 rings as well to kind of match that. It makes sense, right? You see it on screen, you see it in the comic. Oh my God, read a comic. But the rings grant him flight, energy projection, and the ability to fight off entire armies at once. So he's a fucking powerhouse in the comics now. Wow. Yeah, pretty badass character, right? So, I mean, some big things he's done. He actually, in Avengers, in the Hickman run, a massive dragon attacks the city of Madripoor, and then Shang-Chi gets hit with some Pym particles, and he grows to the size of Godzilla and uses imagine a giant using Kung Fu to beat a dragon. Pretty cool. He fought the Black Dwarf, fighting the Black Order. This is one of Thanos' heavy hitters, who has unbreakable skin, and he used his own pressure point strikes and evasion to get out of get rid of this guy. So he's done some pretty cool shit. Now, what do you know of Iron Fist? I'm not a big Iron Fist guy. Mm-hmm. What do you know about Iron Fist and his powers or lack thereof?
Danny Rand supposedly died in a plane crash with his parents, ended up in Kunlun, which just seems to be the source of all Oriental kind of power and martial arts. So he trained and got the Iron Fist, which means that you have to go through all these rituals, compete, so on and so forth, which is basically, the heart of the dragon, and it allows you these capabilities.
Yeah.
He left Kunlun. Supposedly, once you leave, you're not supposed to come back. That kind of it's just that the door to Kunlun opens once every years or whatever, that kind of thing. So, and he can, he trained in martial arts. He's not super powered, but he channels this energy, this life force, and into a blow where he can, blast through metals and do some severe damage. But it's kind of like, Flint was the Human Torch.
Okay.
Once he goes Nova, he's spent. Yeah. You get off and you can't do anything else, right?
He needs a break. So, he needs a breather.
Right. So he uses that only in extreme situations.
Got it.
But outside of that, his martial arts skill is supposedly like number one in Marvel.
Okay. But their powers completely different. Like Iron Fist got his powers from external sources.
Right.
And Shang-Chi channeled what was already inside of him, just learned this mastery.
Yes. Right.
And like I read here, Iron Fist gets his power from plunging his hands into the molten heart of a mystical dragon, Shao Lao. So fucking dragons everywhere, Adrian.
Right.
Dragons everywhere. They're always a form of power too. What's up with that?
Yeah.
So
but they weren't real.
They weren't real. No, of course not, dude. How could they be real? Why would they be on a calendar with fucking 12 other real animals?
Right. Rat, cat, dog, snake, dragon.
Dragon. Oh, shit. Yeah.
Where does that come from?
It's because the dog's dragging his ass across the. Is that what? Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. So Shang-Chi, dude, that is who the fuck Shang-Chi is. He's a badass motherfucker, channeling his chi to whip your motherfucking ass. Fuck.
Language.
And then he's got the 10 rings. So now he has the 10 rings, and we are going to. I don't think we'll have time for that today because I want to get to our Guardians of the Galaxy segment, and you have an awesome hidden gem planned for us. But we will continue that discussion on other stuff. We're going to talk about the 10 rings because these are. I got a theory, Adrian. I'm going to drop this here. We're going to talk more about it on other stuff. So, and I've shared this in the past, but I'll bring everyone up to speed. In the MCU right now, you got the 10 rings, right? They don't know where these fucking things came from. They're from an ancient time.
Sure.
You have the bangles that Ms. Marvel has one of them. And then
hold on. Are we talking about the hula hoop rings or the Mandarin rings?
The Mandarin rings.
Okay.
Well, no, we're talking about the ones that go on the arm.
Okay. I call those the hula hoop.
Okay, we got the hula hoop rings.
Okay.
That was introduced in Shang-Chi. You got the bangles, Ms. Marvel's bangle. Yep. And then
bracelets,
yes, those two. Maria Rambeau has the other one. She's and that those bangles act as a portal from one place to another, right? We saw them; they were siphoning the power from one Earth or one planet to another planet at one point, their atmosphere, whatever. Why didn't the Anunnaki just do that? Siphon our gold. I don't know. I don't want to give them any ideas. Then there's other sources of power, and the reason I bring those up is. I do believe that all of those things will come back into play in Doomsday.
Okay.
Dr. Doom's going to need some power to do what the fuck he wants to do, right? You don't become God Emperor Doom by just drinking protein shakes and deadlifting.
Right. And his power siphoning technology does what? Turns pretty much anything into a battery, right? So he can get energy from literally anything.
So imagine if he has these 10 rings and he has the bangles and now he don't need to be there. He can siphon power from across the fucking universe.
Right? The Tesseract, the sun, everything.
So we're going to talk about that on other stuff. But right now we're going to get into, speaking of the Tesseract and other forms of power. Remember back in the day, the Infinity Stones, Adrian? Remember they were everything, right? Now the thing is, these artifacts may actually predate the Infinity Stones. So maybe his whole thing is, I know y'all had the stones and everything that Thanos tried to do, but we had to go back to the OGs because we don't got the stones anymore.
So kind of like Wanda's chaos magic supersedes Strange's magic.
There you go. So, what supersedes Doomsday is Guardians of the Galaxy back in the day. So this was quite the gamble for Marvel because prior to this, dude, who the fuck knew who Guardians of the Galaxy were? Right. Who knew what a Star-Lord was? Drax, Gamora. I didn't hear these fucking names before this movie. And this movie came out in 2014. So this is still, I guess, somewhat early MCU, right? I mean, we had one Avengers movie. We had, and they were working on the second one at this point, had a couple Captain America movies, had 3 Iron Man movies, 1 Hulk, and 2 Thor movies. So, they were successful, but those all were those all were pretty well-known characters. The Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody fucking knew about. Only hardcore, crazy fucking comic readers even cared about them. They were a D-list, dude. D-list fucking group. James Gunn, he was hired as a, at this point, he was just like an indie horror comedy director. He wasn't the comic book director he is today. They gave him complete creative control, and he took these ragtag fucking characters and created a movie that I would say definitely had a lot of heart to it, showed these deeply, I guess, damaged characters, had good amount of humor, made you care about people that you had never heard of before in your life. The budget was $170 million. It's a lot of money to give someone for a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And this thing did $773 million worldwide. So it was one of the highest grossing superhero films that year. The soundtrack, here's another thing. Like, remember Peter's little cassette? The Awesome Mix 1? Well, that soundtrack was put out as an album, and that shit went platinum and hit #1 on the Billboard 200. So you got to give Gunn credit for this.
Yeah.
This is what he took shit and made a fucking awesome movie.
Yeah.
And made people care about characters that ended up playing a big role in the MCU movie. I mean, they were a big part of Infinity War. You know, people that, you know, you never would have cared to even check out. And then he took a bunch of older songs and made them go platinum again because he introduced them in the movie. And I'd say he used them very well. Some really good, you know, needle drops, as they say. But let's talk about, so first of all, movie as a whole. When you first saw this, you like this movie, Guardians?
Yeah.
Were you shocked?
I wasn't shocked because I didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
I was just, it's a comic book movie, so let me check it out. That was literally.
You kind of went in no expectations, just, hey, it's another comic movie. Let's see what it is. Yeah. I didn't watch this till after. When it first came out, I didn't even go see it. I didn't see it for probably a few years after it came out. But I think I'm shocked with how much I like this movie. Like even rewatching it, it is a lot of fun. A lot of good action. The visuals are great. It's a very, very visually appealing movie. I mean, this is the first time in the MCU we kind of go out to the cosmos, right? Everything else happened here on Earth.
Right.
And this is right after. Now, from a timeline standpoint, it's cool because the last movie was Winter Soldier. Very kind of grounded, you know, political thriller, crime thriller type of movie, espionage, all that bullshit, right? And this was like the complete opposite. This was get out in fucking space and what the fuck is going on? It was fun. It was a fun movie.
Little kidnapping too.
Oh yeah.
Because that's who Star-Lord was, right? He got kidnapped by this dude, this alien dude, and raised him as his son, kind of.
Yep. Just fuck, you're gonna be my kid now, you know? Fuck it. What'd he say in the second one? I was never your father, but I'm your daddy or some shit like that. Yondu with the fucked up teeth. That guy's crazy. He plays the bird fucking killer in Peacemaker. Remember him?
Right, yeah. Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
How
is that you go to like rob somebody, but you ended up taking a kid too? That's crazy. Anyway.
Fucked up, dude. Now this movie sets up a lot. We see Thanos for the real first time in this movie. We see the Power Stone. I mean, this movie starts with Star-Lord going to find this orb that has the Power Stone in it. Go to sell to somebody. He's just a guy who's trying to make a buck, dude. Right. He ain't really trying to get caught up in
scrapper.
Yeah, he ain't trying to get caught up in no fucking Infinity War and all this shit. He's a ladies' man, you know. He's got the alien chick in his ship when he runs off. So they establish the rules of these Infinity Stones in this movie, right? We see this purple stone. We don't know what it is. Eventually, we learn it's the Power Stone. The rule is you can't touch the Infinity Stones with your bare hands unless you are a being with immense power. We see when the collector's slave, Karina, tries to grab it, she gets fucking incinerated, right? And then collector's whole spot gets blown the fuck up. But the collector is the one that explains all of this. He shows the celestial gods, giant space gods, using these stones to wipe away planets and shit. So these stones were used by the celestials, you know, fucking whatever, thousands of years ago. But it really plants the seeds for Infinity War and Endgame down the road. Nowhere is a colony that is actually a severed head of an ancient celestial that they mined. You know, the brain matter, they're in there mining this fucking celestial's head for, I mean, I guess it's the same thing that bugs do to us, right? Kind of.
Sure.
You get all up in our heads and eat our fucking flesh when we die.
Aliens mine us too.
Yes.
Different direction.
Yeah. The anal probe. How many anal probe references are in this podcast? This podcast is brought to you by anal probes. So it expands this universe, and it shows that there were these godlike beings long before the Asgardians or anybody else, the Celestials. Right. Kind of plants the seed for a shitty fucking movie called Eternals down the road. And the characters, dude, they're a bunch of kind of losers, like, right? Like, I mean, Peter Quill's just this like man child running from everything. And he, like you mentioned, he was abducted from Earth when his mom died, never really grew up. He's still a fucking kid. Right. Gamora is this, you know, deadliest woman in the galaxy trying to escape the shadow of Thanos.
Right. Daddy issues.
Right. Well, I mean, it's fucked up. Think about this. Thanos shows up, kills her whole family in front of you and goes, hey, I'm your dad now.
Right.
Fuck, dude. Then you got Rocket and Groot, these, you know, Rockets, which we learned later on, the
Right.
shit he'd gone through.
Holy
In this movie,
shit.
he just seems like a fucking pain in the ass, right? Like, why is he such an asshole? But then when you see the third one, you realize like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
And Groot's, we got the old school Groot in this movie, right? Now, Groot actually dies, and the Groot that we see in the future movies is a new Groot.
Yeah.
He fucking plants a little branch. He's like his kid, right? And Drax is there just trying to get vengeance because his wife and daughter was murdered. So he really, the point is, these motherfuckers are not trying to be in no team.
Right.
They all got their own agenda, but then they're brought together because of the Power Stone, because of Thanos, because of the Nova Corps. All the shit they were doing brought them together and kind of forced them to really become friends. I mean, it's a movie about a fucking bunch of losers becoming friends, right? And then realizing that if you put 5 losers together, you get a winner. That's the movie in a nutshell.
Well, or at least you get a group of people moving away from loserdom.
There you go. Yes.
You don't defaultly have a winner.
No. But it happens. It happens here. Now we see Thanos for the first time. It's what people, there's so much build. Bro, Thanos is in this movie for like 3 minutes. Said like 15 words. You see him one time in person, and then you see him, they have like the space Zoom call where he's on the wall. That's it. Let's not act like there was all kinds. You didn't know what his plan was.
No.
All you knew was he hired Ronan to get this orb. And you knew there was a Power Stone in there. He didn't say shit about no fucking gauntlet. He didn't say anything about destroying no universe. You knew he wanted this orb, and that was it. Ronan then realizes that the orb is an Infinity Stone, and then he betrays Thanos to take it. He puts it up in his little Warhammer. And now we got a big old fucking, we got Ronan being the big baddie here. How'd you feel about Ronan in this movie?
Pussy ass.
Yeah.
I didn't like him him and Adam Warlock.
Yep.
They just really just messed those two characters
Made him a bitch.
up. Yeah.
And were you familiar with Ronan prior to this?
Ronan the Accuser?
Yeah.
He was like, I understood him as like an enforcer.
Yeah.
That's really it. I mean, I knew who he was. He was like off the chart, powerful.
Right.
But nothing in depth.
Like he wasn't you didn't think he was a joke though.
No.
And I feel
I never got the feeling he was like a joke.
Right.
I mean, they made him like
made him a dumbass.
Yeah, like it's just sitting over with a dress on or some shit on the sidelines. And that little weak ass hammer that he had, I'm like, come on, dog. That's like a Moses Kane or some shit.
The Nebula and Gamora rivalry in this was pretty good. Those are two badass fucking sisters, and this is where they really hate each other.
Right.
And I think they did a really good job throughout these 3 movies and even Infinity War with their dynamic, right? Where they hate each other, then they kind of learn that like we hate each other because that's what Thanos wants us to do. Right. And we really don't hate each other. Like we should fucking work together. Like, but it took them a long time. It was a good character arc for both of them.
And it's crazy. It's like in its typical parent-child relationships, when you got 2 siblings, one's gonna have, you're both gonna have different relationships with the parent. Mm-hmm. But typically one is gonna be jealous of the other one, and the other one don't even care or don't even know why, what's going on. All I know is my sibling is fucking hates me. Mm-hmm. So, and then despite who Thanos was, going around murdering planets. And
like you're worried about his approval? Right. Seriously? The fuck? And this is where we learn like why Nebula is so bitter. So every time Nebula lost a sparring match to Gamora, Thanos would upgrade a piece of her body.
That's crazy.
Right? Like to try to make her equal to Gamora. So literally like this abusive dynamic is kind of like what also tied these 2 girls together.
What would have happened if Gamora would have lost something?
I probably would have done the same thing to her.
Damn.
But Gamora is the fucking deadliest woman in the galaxy, so she beat this bitch's ass every time.
Right.
And now it's like, how do you feel if you're Gamora? Like you gotta beat her ass.
Right.
But she's your sister. Right. And you probably feel horrible at that he's doing that to her. And now if you're Nebula, you resent her, even though you would have done the same thing, but you're like, I'm getting fucking abused because you beat me.
Right.
Fucked up, dude. A hell of a dad. Yeah, he's probably not winning no Father of the Year awards.
And then Nebula, despite all of the upgrades, still can't beat
Correct.
Gamora.
Tells you how badass Gamora is.
Yeah, but also is like what the fuck? I mean, why are you doing this? Why are you even pitting us against each other if you know I'm going to lose?
Because you're a sick fuck.
Right.
Damn.
Kind of like the hidden gem.
Oh, is it hidden gem Gamora?
No. He's sick fuck though.
Okay, that's his character. The character is sick fuck. Dude, I'm convincing myself that Gamora should be on a Who the Fuck is Gamora, because we all know who she is, but do we really know what she does?
Right.
We know she's dangerous. Okay, and so is Michael Jackson, dude. You know, the fucking album was great. You like that? And dude, they're just, Xander is like, they just want to blow the fucking Xander. Everyone wants to blow up Xander. What's up? Why do they hate Xander, you know?
Like Xander Cage?
No, the fucking planet. The Kree's reference in here, and this is part of, going through this rewatch from a timeline perspective. We've already seen Captain Marvel, so we know who the Kree Empire are. And they're featured in this as well. So that was a little cool, I guess, Easter egg to know that, know who the Kree Empire was before, we get here. And thank God Carol Danvers wasn't in this movie. It introduced Celestials. We talked about that. Star-Lord. So initially we think Star-Lord is just a dude, right? He's just a dude with some fucking jet boots and some guns and a mask. But then we realize that when he holds the Power Stone and he can hold it for that long, first of all, you realize something's different about this motherfucker. Because if he's just a dude, he would have been dead. And then the Nova Prime tells him that his DNA is an anomaly. His mother's from Earth, but his father is from a species they haven't seen before, which sets up Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So it kind of adds a layer of mystery to Peter. Also, when Yondu's taken off, when he thinks that Peter gave him the orb, you can hear him talking to, I forget the other guy's name. That's actually Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, about Peter's dad. And they're like, yeah, good thing we didn't introduce him to him. That guy was an asshole anyway. So it's like that setup for the second one. We got to talk about something at the end of the movie, Adrian, the good old dance-off. See, this is why, one of the reasons, I'm not a big fan of the dance-off. I think it's kind of silly, honestly. I get it. It's a silly movie, but there's a reason why this is not my favorite Guardians movie. My favorite Guardians movie is the third one. I think the third one is better. I mean, the first one was great, but I think the third one was better. And I'll ask you that later, Adrian. It's a little surprise for you for agree to disagree. But the dance-off, it's funny in a way because every other superhero movie, especially at this time, was like a massive CGI fest, big old battle, explosion. Oh my God, this, that. And James Gunn just says, we're going to end this shit with a guy singing Ooh Child by the 5 Stair Steps. And Ronan's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You just caught him off guard. I mean, it's one way to catch someone off guard. Start fucking singing to him, I guess.
Or give him a math problem.
Yeah, you can do that.
That's what he said to calm people down.
Yeah, he's giving a math problem.
Yeah, give him a math problem. Their mind instantly stops and try to solve the problem.
They tried that with Terrence Howard. He created his whole new math.
Yeah, this is what you get. 1 + 1 is not 2.
Maine. Anyways, but I get it does make sense though. I mean, a lot of this, the music aspect to Peter, like how much he loves music, the tie to his mom was, something that was carried throughout the movie.
Sure.
To the point where he went back in the prison to grab the tape when they're supposed to be escaping. And they're like, bro, you literally risk your life for a fucking Walkman? Like, yeah, that's how important this shit was to him, right? So I guess it kind of makes sense, but it's a little silly. I mean, the movie was good enough, though. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to boycott Marvel because he had a dance-off. Like, whatever, dude. And I mean, it is referenced in later movies too, which actually becomes something funny. What else does this set up? So it sets up the rebirth of Groot is another thing. Groot sacrifices himself at the end with the whole "We Are Groot" thing. Rocket's a mess. He plants a couple twigs, and then at the end of the movie, they start kind of dancing, and that's when we get Baby Groot for the next movie. And then Nebula. Dude, instead of letting Gamora, this is how bitter she was. Instead of letting Gamora save her, Remember, she's hanging off the fucking ship. She cuts her own fucking arm off and drops into another ship and flies away. So she's still pissed off at Gamora, which definitely helps kick off a lot of this shit in Volume 2, which is next week's watch. So all in all, this was it was a fun watch. I enjoy this movie. I've not seen this movie, like, it's not one of the ones that I've seen like 10, 15 times. I've probably seen this movie fucking three times now.
One.
You've only seen it once?
Yeah.
But
that's why it's blurry.
It's blurry. But it's fun. It was a fun movie. I enjoy it. I'm glad, we're at this point in the rewatch. Now, the second one is a movie that the first time I saw it, I absolutely hated it. And then watching it in a rewatch a couple years ago, I changed my stance on it completely. Yeah, I do enjoy it. I don't like it as much as the first one. What's his name as Ego? Kurt Russell. It's a little, the whole living planet thing. It's a little goofy. But I guess you're going to expect that with Guardians, right? It's going to be goofy. So I like this. And then next week is part 2. So y'all let me know. How did you feel about our rewatch this week with motherfucking Guardians of the Galaxy? What I do like is we're getting into a really good part of this story where you got Guardians, and then I think we have Ant-Man, and then I think we have Age of Ultron, Civil War, and that's where this shit just really fucking jumps up. Like the level of these movies from that part to Infinity War Endgame, we're going to start getting some motherfucking treats, Adrian. Yep. So, again, when I have Alzheimer's, when I'm 80, and I watch all these again for the first time, it's going to be a motherfucker, dude.
Oh, that's next week for me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You have fun with that. Let me know how. Now, then it'll be brand new to you again, Adrian.
Hey, there you go.
Shit. All right, we are moving into our next segment. It's called We Respond. We'll read a comment. You got to read my comment. Yes, I'm going to read some comments. We're going to shout out all of the interns and then some. So we got Ryder Fan. Ryder Fan says, AWOB, gentlemen. Great episode as always. Yes, another week, another motherfucking banger, bitches. There is a character you forgot to mention during a review of Captain America Winter Soldier, George's Batroc, played by George St. Pierre. Oh, it's the guy who fights on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a bitch. If I want to mention it, I'm just kidding.
I think it's not Batroc, but Batroc.
Batroc. Oh, okay,
like
Batroc. My bad. I'm fucking, well, we got this.
Well, let's see how we say that.
Batroc.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. Do you think he played any significance to that movie, or he's just a side character more than anything? He's a side character.
Side.
Yeah, I think people who know him from the comics felt like, oh shit, he's in there.
Right.
But he's got his ass whooped on the ship. Like, I mean, fuck, he's just cannon fodder, as they say. Also, seeing we are on the topic of Daredevil lately, and with season 2 of Born Again going to drop here on the 24th, can we revisit the 03 Daredevil movie with Affleck and Garner?
No.
No, you can revisit that shit, Ryder Fan. Bro, I tried to watch that. Actually, I did watch it like last year. It fucking sucks. Holy shit.
Wow. I just saw the like a commercial about them when they met at a like in front of a preschool or something.
Oh,
and they doing
the
this
fighting?
Oh my God, dude.
On the
I'm
playscape?
Like, yeah, I was like, I just off of that alone, I am not gonna rewatch.
And he's giving her all these creeper vibes too. Like, come on, dude. The fuck is what in the Me Too shit is going on here, bro? What the fuck? It was a different fucking era in Hollywood, I'll tell you that. It was probably produced by Weinstein. Anyways, I got a hidden gem request for Adrian, one of my all-time favorite villains, Eobard Thawne, aka Reverse Flash. That'd be a good one. You did a hidden gem on Flash a while back that was really in depth. Reverse Flash. Well, we just take that same guy and reverse him. There you go. There's a hidden gem.
You know what I'm feeling is that people like sick people and shit.
Oh yeah, right.
Reverse Flash. Well, I mean, you're gonna get one today, but I'm just saying.
Shit. Well, we have to have another segment called Sick Fucks.
There you
go. Let's see. When it comes to villains and their rival, we have Batman, Joker, Superman, Lex. I think the rivalry of the Flash and Reverse Flash is top tier. Okay. Not to even mention that Tom Cavanaugh's portrayal of him in the first season of The Flash was absolute peak. I did not see that. Also got to meet him at the con back in 2018. Nice, dude. As well as Justice League Flashpoint Paradox being a top 3 DC animated film, in my opinion. I agree with that. Yeah. I just think he's an amazing villain, and I feel he needs to be discussed. Well, he's selling us the fuck on it, Adrian. He's selling, dude. I like it.
I think Grog is more of a villain to Flash than Reverse Reverse Flash.
Oh, okay. Grog's, you'd say his main one to you? Reverse Flash would be what, right after that?
Yeah, I would say so.
And the biggest villain to Flash is Ezra Miller.
There's that.
Because now we can't have Flash on screen for at least 8 years after seeing that atrocity.
Dude, I threw away my shirt, everything.
Damn, dude.
It's like, fuck this.
We said that once and someone got all upset. I can't believe they're joking about throwing away their shirt. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Fucking take a joke. Lighten up, dude. The fuck is wrong? Everyone's so uptight, you know?
But I
wouldn't even say that.
But I wasn't joking. I did throw that shirt away.
Akima Moore says, AWOD boys, I'm convinced. It makes me feel young when they say boys, Adrian. You know, they don't say AWOD, you old fucks.
Well, I've heard boys enough to where it means nothing to me.
Nothing anymore, does it? We need a new one.
Yeah.
I'm convinced we're living in the dumbest era ever. Oh, yeah, I don't even know what you're going to say, but you're getting a bell. People are turning against their own families because they were told one man is the root of all evil. That's true. Like all of a sudden now the country is bad. You can track throughout history how the foundation of the decline happened, and for the most part, it was due to people being gullibly dumb. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
It's
thing.
a whole different thing. But yeah, we've been dumb for a long time as a country. And anyone that fucking puts all their faith in any one dude is a fucking idiot.
Well, I mean, if you look at, you know, how other countries are going down to, it's always easier to look into somebody else's window and you know, chastise and blame them and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, other countries are doing it too.
Sure.
You know, they selling out to the highest bidder. There is no, you know, generational stuff anymore. It's like, I'm going to get, you know, some politician, somebody say, hey, I'm going to give you this suitcase of cash if you sell your soul. Okay. You know, despite what's going to happen to his children and all this other kind of stuff. So it's worldwide, but it just so happens to be us.
Yes, absolutely. You know? And I do think people that buy so much into politics and have that be a reason why you sever friendships, relationships, you're fucking stupid.
That's stupid.
You're ridiculous. These motherfuckers don't care anything about you.
No.
So I don't want to talk to Adrian because he voted for this guy versus that guy. I don't give a flying fuck.
Right.
Also, wearing a fucking hat to identify with the president is fucking weird.
Right.
Wearing a Hulk hat is fucking awesome, Adrian. We both got Hulk stuff on today.
Oh, yeah.
Because Hulk's the motherfucking man.
No.
To wear a hat of any, and I'm not even just talking about the fucking MAG, I'm talking about any I'm going to wear a fucking Biden hat. You're a fucking idiot. Fuck, man, wear your baseball team, your football team, your favorite hero. Put your own goddamn face on your hat.
There you go.
Fuck, put some other dude's fucking name on your hat. Anyways, Maple Grove says, I am a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan and then becoming a Daredevil fan. I love that you included the ooze in your Daredevil breakdown. Cuz, bro, it's the same ooze, right? The ooze turned Daredevil into this badass motherfucker, and then it made these turtles big, you know? It's just...
Is ooze and jism the same?
Nope, it's a different consistency. A different color, too. Ooze is green, and we all know what color jism is. Sons of Sekhmet says, ever think about this? People that say read a comic also have really bad haircuts. I think that's legit. Do you think it checks out, dude?
I don't know.
Never know, you know. We'll have to do a poll. Mr. Cordan, 85, so he's my age, says, my guy's still here, just been busy trip trying to balance life. I hear you, dude. Love the cast still. Stupid thought, but found it funny while listening about Daredevil versus Batman. Imagine Daredevil, who was blind, trying to get his news in a world today. He'd have to listen to it. He can't see what AI looks like. A lot of wrongful, incriminating facts coming his way. That's true. Anywho, Mike, love you, bro, but it's Paramount, not Paramount. Motherfucker, it's Paramount when I say it. Thought I was wrong, but I have patience. You two are still one of my favorite podcasts. Get me through hours at work. Another working man. I don't understand the fuss of lanterns and the racial BS. I'm half black, half white. I see both sides. So what? An older white man trying to show up an up-and-comer black man the ropes, to me sounds like progress and tough love with the car scene, but I'll definitely check this out. Still nothing but love to Only Comics. Down with it. Give a fuck who shows who what, dude, you know? Todd Taste, he says, I haven't watched this video in its entirety yet, but based on the title alone, I agree. People need to quit whining about the tone of the show and look of the suit, blah, blah, blah. I think it's going to be dope, and the casting is great. Yeah, in other words, shut the fuck up. Captain Canada, AWOD fellas, the Cap was on the live this past week. I can't wait for Daredevil Season 2 in a few weeks. I know, dude, literally like 2 weeks away. I keep forgetting the dates for the rest of the stuff coming this year, so an updated calendar will be helpful. If you haven't heard there, or we're in the future now, but we just did it. Charlie Cox was casted perfectly for Matt Murdock. Yes, he was.
Mm-hmm.
The motherfucker looks blind. I don't even know how to explain it. He just looks blind. Winter Soldier for a long time was my top MCU movie, probably still top 5. It was really good, still action-packed. Yeah, no, it's up there. There's a hidden gem playlist for anyone wondering about old hidden gems that hasn't been updated this year. Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it, you know. Let's see. We got Devin. Devin says, not only was it the same ooze, the creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show a kid getting hit by ooze right before it drips down the sewer. So it was the same accident. Oh, that's cool. I did not know that. Let's see. We got Charles Mom. People never wait for the movie to drop. They just complain all the time just for a teaser. I don't get it. Well, you know, I've come to this realization, Adrian. People just want to have a hot take because they think they're going to go viral.
Yeah.
That's what all I think it is. Let me say something really fucking stupid and cool so I can go viral and I can be a big name on YouTube and then I don't have to work anymore. That's what they think. It's like their way to win. It's like when I was a kid, you know, a lot of dumb adults would like plan their whole life based on winning the lottery. You ever met anyone like this?
Yeah, I have.
When I win the lottery, Adrian, here's what I'm going to do.
Right. End up right back where you are right now.
Exactly.
That's what you're going to do.
They play that shit every fucking week. Like, bro, if you just save that money, like $10 every couple of days, I'm playing the fucking quick pick, this, that, you'd have a few extra $1,000 every fucking few months.
Right.
But you spend it on the goddamn lottery. If I win, when I win, you're not going to win.
Right. Then you got the lifers.
Yeah.
It's been playing this shit since it was like 2.5.
Oh my God, you could retire it already.
Yep.
So, anyways, I don't know where I was going with that, but Adrian Pierce says, AWOP guys, I just wanted to show another character for the Who the Fuck Is segment, Iron Fist. I think he could give Batman a tough fight with no prep. Oh shit. He said he asked ChatGPT and it said in a random encounter, Iron Fist would win 6 out of 10 times. I think ChatGPT is biased. I think so. Sure. Yeah, I mean, Batman would beat him 10 out of 10 times is always the answer with Batman. Let's see. Oh, this guy, Devin, says, dude, the Lanterns trailer was a train wreck. I'm not usually one to complain about this stuff, but this trailer was ridiculous. You wouldn't know it's a Lantern show if you didn't already know. The atmosphere is cliche. Lines are cheesy. Flying without the green aura around him. No constructs. No nothing. Oh, my God, I understand. Shut the fucking fuck up, dude. It's a 2-minute goddamn trailer. Fucking get over it, you know? Fuck.
It's got you talking about it, though.
It does, yeah. Stop talking to me about it. Fuck. Devin also says, man, I hear you. How you going to snap on everybody for asking why the suit is brown after y'all spent 20 minutes on Lobo's makeup for being too white? Because we fucking can, Devin. That's goddamn why. And here's the thing. I never said because his logo looks a little fucked up that the movie's going to suck.
Right.
I never cried about, oh my God, in makeup. I just said the shit should have been a little cleaner. That's all.
Well, we also discussed that maybe that could be Hal Jordan's the old suit.
Right.
We don't really know because
don't know.
we didn't see who was it a black hand or a white hand going into the closet? I don't know.
We don't know. Yeah.
So whatever. You know what?
It was a mulatto.
Watch the
hand.
movie. There you go. Mulatto.
Yeah.
Does anybody say that anymore? Mulatto?
Every once in a while.
Does anybody know what mulatto means?
I don't know. You know, that's a good question. If they don't, it means you're half black, half white. You're mixture. One dad's black. Your other dad, one mom's white, one day, you know I'm talking about. Yeah.
Or in my world, you're black.
Yeah. So the thing is, I never shit on the Supergirl movie at all. I don't think you did either. All we said was the fucking makeup looked a little funny.
Oh. Well, what I did say was I'm not feeling the girl as Supergirl because I've never seen that version before.
Sure.
And also the Lobo makeup is kind of like Kiss.
Yes, it does.
Like the band Kiss.
Right. Definitely. So, but I never said I'm going to boycott the movie. Oh my God, why are they doing this? We just fucking commented on what we saw. Kept it moving.
I hope Jason Momoa don't do his fucking cross-dressing fucking acting bullshit that he did in Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Just stop.
All right, moving on to Spotify. Bryson. Oh, Bryson gets on the live. What's up, Bryson? AWOP, I'm a Winter Soldier glazer. Yeah, we know. One reason is because one of the greatest fighters of all time, George St. Pierre, plays. Batroc. Everyone's glazing his fucking Batroc. The Leaper, and had an awesome fight with Cap. I mean, it was a good fight. I don't like. We're acting awesome. Like, bro, awesome was fucking Thor, Cap, and Iron Man going at Thanos. That was awesome. Right. This was like, it was cool. You know, fuck. Let's see. Metalhead Dad says, AWOP guys, love the Who the Fuck Is Daredevil. Any chance of getting a deep dive or hidden gem on Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe anytime? That's a good one. Because that's another character where I think everyone knows who he is, but has no fucking idea what he does. So maybe one of them. We'll flip a coin, Adrian. Yeah. The guy is a beast. I think he can hold his own against a lot of Marvel, DC street tier characters. The guy managed to take down Starscream from Transformers. And then let's see, Justanos reviews. AWOP boys, very good episode, and honestly agree. Yeah, there it is, boys again. You're right. It's kind of lost its luster, Adrian. Makes me feel older. No. I agree. Batman would whoop Daredevil. Yes, he'd whoop that trick. I had a request for Who the Fuck Is. I'd love to hear one on Jon Stewart. Well, the funny thing is, you've already done a hidden gem on Jon Stewart. Right. You just have to find it. Yeah. I'm gonna fucking. I don't want to say it.
No, don't say it. You
know what?
Don't say it.
Maybe they'll show up at some point. Right. I don't know.
It gets here when it gets here.
Yeah. But hey, it's on the list. It's on our to-do list. Sure. There we go. Hidden gem on the Red Hulk or possibly even the Red Guardian. Thanks for keeping my week entertaining, and I hope you have a good week. Big fan, Justin. We'll appreciate you, Justin.
Wait a minute. The Guardian. What the
Red Guardian?
Red Guardian. Oh, Russia's Cap.
Yeah.
We did Did we talk it extensively, or did we do a hidden gem on the Red Hulk?
Nope. Hold on. The Guardian, you did a hidden gem, or we did a deep dive on the Super Soldier Serum. I think we did both.
Right.
Which we touched on Red Guardian a little bit, but we never did a deep dive. And then Red Hulk, I think you did one where you were talking about all the different Hulks.
Probably.
And then you touched on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it was a deep dive. Okay. We'll add it to the list of, what do you have, 413 right now?
413.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to it. We're not going anywhere. So, I mean, who knows? This year, next year, 5 years from now, eventually we'll get to that one. Let's see. We got another hidden gem request here. AWOP fellas, C says, gonna keep asking. He has asked for this before. Static Shock as a hidden gem until we get it. Okay.
Got on the list.
It's on the list. That's number 312 on the list. Love the brutal honesty y'all bring. It's needed in this soft-ass generation. Keep killing it every week. A bunch of bitches out there, soft little bitches. And then we got this guy, Aaron Johnson says, this is like some crackhead shit. If y'all are thinking Marvel is still doing the best out of any publisher right now, y'all are definitely not reading the comic books. Bitch, who the fuck ever said any publisher was doing the best out of any publisher here? Have you ever said that here?
I have not.
I have not either. We've said that we like Marvel over DC because they put out more content. And what we're talking about for the most part is movies, shows, and things of that nature. And in fact, we probably remind you every week that we are not comic experts. I don't read a lot of the new shit. I read the old shit over and over again because I know it's good.
How many different burger joints, just burger joints, you think there are in the world?
Probably fucking 312.
Who are the two big ones?
McDonald's, Burger King. Around here anyway.
Enough said.
There you go. In other words, he just told you to shut the fuck up, bitch. Fucking Marvel publisher. Like, bro, you argue with yourself, bro. Who the fuck ever? First of all, I've never referred to Marvel as a publisher on this podcast. You don't even need to fact check that. I guarantee you I've never called them a publisher on here. So, anyways. And then we got a couple TikTok comments here, Adrian. Actually, I really have one here I want to talk about because I said that my boy Pattinson, Adrian, is the best Batman of all time, right? I said that. You don't agree with that?
No.
But you didn't, when I said that, you didn't pack your shit up and go, I can't do this podcast anymore because you have that.
Fuck it. I'm done.
I'm not going to talk to you if you feel that way.
Battinson looks like Edward. I can't. I see Edward.
So this motherfucker here, Juggernaut, he's got some balls to call himself Juggernaut and be this much of a bitch. Listen to this. Hell no, Pattinson is not the best. Hell no. Okay. That opinion told me, hold on. That opinion told me to comment, scroll, and not listen. Sorry, Affleck, hands down the best. Oh my God. Bro, you can like whoever you like. Who you think's the best Batman?
I can't even think of his name. Yeah, exactly.
This guy, Christian Bale. That's your boy.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Right.
That's okay. I'm not going to be like, that opinion told me not to listen to you. That's what the fuck you like.
My responsibility is to argue my opinion, not convince you that yours is wrong.
Correct. Yeah, you can tell me why you think he's the best.
Exactly.
And I could be like, oh yeah, those are the exact reasons why I think he's not the best. Whatever.
Sure.
Like, people love Michael Keaton's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a tiny little fella who looks weird.
Right.
That's why he plays a great Beetlejuice.
Exactly.
Why he plays a really good Vulture.
Mm-hmm.
Why he does not look anything like Bruce Wayne.
Nothing.
Women are supposed to like you if you are a Bruce Wayne. I'm not a fucking genius on how that worked, Adrian. I play on the other side. But I know that Michael fucking Keaton's a weird looking motherfucker.
He's got them permanent fucking lips and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Pucker lips and shit. He was the lips before the lips became popular.
Absolutely. Dude, I have a Michael Keaton fucking, it's not a bobblehead. My sister got it for me for my birthday. It's a little figure. It's like 6-7 inches tall. And he's doing the lips. So this. It's hysterical because that's what you think of when you see, you want to get nuts. Like, but bro, if you like the fucking little,
with them lips, you're going to get some nuts.
You're going to get nuts. Yes, absolutely. And not in the good way. But hey, if that's your guy, dude. I'm not going to not watch your shit. So, but just like, now I know he said this so we could talk about it. It was nobody liked this comment. Nobody replied to him. But it's like, that's the soft, I'm partly joking, but partly not. That's the problem nowadays. If you have a different opinion, we can't like each other. We can't, oh my God, I hate you. How about we fucking talk about why we have different opinions? In general, this could apply to fucking kids in the schoolyard or assholes in fucking Congress. Same shit, right? We don't like none of your opinions. Dude, I don't know. Some shit you say may be cool. Some shit I disagree with. Some shit I don't. Some shit I'm mid on. But one thing I'm not mid on is Battinson. That's why his name's Battinson. Your name's Battinson. You're born to play Bruce Wayne Batman, Adrian. That's just a thing,
Or not.
Or not. You don't say that. Anyways.
You got lucky.
Yes, you got lucky. Okay. Well, that is We Respond. That is my friend on TikTok. Last thing before we move into Hidden Gem, I was talking about this on Mic Check last week. The Batman 2. Right, it's in the works. They started producing this movie. It's supposed to come out October of 27. We've heard so far. We know that Sebastian Stan's playing Harvey Dent. We know Scarlett Johansson is in this movie. People are like, "Well, you always have the same people in movies." When's the last time you saw Scarlett Johansson or Sebastian Stan in anything that wasn't Marvel? I can't think of shit.
I can't either.
So, if you said Pedro Pascal and, hey, why does he got to be in every movie? I'm your guy. But do you feel like Sebastian Stan and Scarlett Johansson are in every fucking movie right now? No. I'm down with them jumping over to DC. First of all, if Sebastian Stan's playing Harvey Dent, we know he can play that. I mean, he's a DA, but that government type of guy, right? And we know he can play a fucking madman because he played Winter Soldier.
Right.
Scarlett Johansson played a spy. Now, she's got many roles, but we're talking what she's done in the Marvel universe. So she's rumored to be playing Gilda Dent, who is the holiday killer. She could play someone who pretends to be the housewife.
Sure.
And is actually a fucking killer on the side. So I think it's great casting if that's what they're doing. So with those pieces in play, a lot of people were thinking Long Halloween, which the rumor is now they're adapting that story into the Batman 2, the actual Long Halloween story. So my question, and I'll ask you this, was we've not had a true adaptation of the Long Halloween in live action.
No.
We've had elements of that story in a lot of Batman movies, right? Like we've had the whole agreement between Gordon, Dent, and Batman to take down the Joker and to take down crime on the whole rooftop. That came from the comics, right? We had when they burnt all the money. There's definitely been a lot of, parts of that story that's been kind of influenced, but this is going to be a true adaptation, allegedly. Do you feel like we've had too much Long Halloween, or no, because we've not had a true fucking adaptation?
Both, actually.
Okay.
Because it came out so long ago.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think we've had a true adaptation. And I don't think a lot of people even get the little pieces that they pull into these other shows. They just like, oh, it's just part of whatever, not thinking that it actually belongs over
right.
there.
It was influenced from this story. Yeah.
Right.
So I love for them to do this. Honestly, I think it's my favorite Batman comic, I think, to this day. It's a great story. We did a review on it a while back here. There's an animated 2-part movie of The Long Halloween, which was really good.
Yep.
But we've not seen it in live action. So I say, fuck it. Do it. Let's get it done. Anyways, Adrian, we were at that time. The sun's almost getting low. Not quite. But we got another segment here. It's called Hidden Motherfucking Gem. It's just called Hidden Gem. So who is our hidden gem today? You say he's a sick fuck. Don't disappoint us.
Yes, okay? he's sick fuck. This is a request. Just jump right into it. This is Marvel's Mr. Sinister.
Oh, shit. Oh, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, Sinister, dude. So this dude has a lot of dynamic. He's labeled as one of the X-Men's most dangerous and enduring villains. He's an immortal Victorian geneticist turned master manipulator whose obsession with mutation, cloning, and perfect evolution has shaped mutant history over centuries. Now, one of the things I get into it, but remember how we talked about the Summers family, how that'll make a good show and all this other kind of stuff?
Yep.
Yo, he's been fucking with them like for years.
Oh yeah, he's fucking fascinating, dude. It's almost like some Doom Reed type of shit,
right? Well, he's convinced himself that the Summers Gray genes is what will allow him to defeat Apocalypse, who gave him his powers, actually. But anyway, we'll get into it. So, who is Sinister? His real name, Dr. Nathan Essex. He was born in 19th century. They estimate between 1820 and 1840, because he was already an adult when like Darwin published in like 1859. He had a wife and a son at 4 who died for some crazy illness, and that kind of like tipped him over the edge into just being just uncaring about all kinds of shit. So he was kind of, his personality was what it was before he got the attention of Apocalypse, who then turned him into Mr. Sinister.
So he'd been an asshole. He just gave him more asshole ability, I guess.
Pretty much. So he was a pioneering geneticist obsessed with Darwin's theories. And after his son died from congenital defects, he became convinced that humanity must be guided toward superior evolution as opposed to just lucking out. So this kind of sounds like the Anunnaki shit, right? Where he's thinking, well, we just need to give it a push, because it actually takes millions of years for DNA to like align and, you know, all this other kind of stuff. So for a human to actually go through a complete transformation, like we supposedly did, well, first of all, you're not going to get multiple cells from a single cell thing. So that whole fucking sperm blob crawling out of the ocean and turning to a man, we can call bullshit on that one. Anyway, his radical ideas caught the attention of Apocalypse, who mutated Essex into the immortal superhuman being that we know of him today as Mr. Sinister.
Did you say immortal?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
So extended his lifespan indefinitely.
Damn.
Right? Enhanced his intellect, gave him molecular level control over his body, and freed him from human morality, which he didn't need anyway. Right? His power
is no help with that.
Right. His powers and ability, they differ depending on, you know, the era, who wrote them and things. But basically, he has superhuman strength. Now, he's not like the Hulk superhuman, but he's stronger than like Wolverine and Captain America, who can. So out of the two, between Wolverine and Captain America is the strongest. He can do between 800 and 1,200 pounds. Sinister is, you know, stronger than both of those, right? Enhanced durability. He can take a punch. He's not going to fall out of space and survive that kind of, well, actually he will, and there's another reason why he can. But he's not going to fall out of space, bounce, and just get up and just, brush it off and keep on moving. Out of his physical and mental enhancements, the two of the most important is that the longevity, so he's basically immortal, and his regenerative healing. So, which basically plays into his immortality because he doesn't even need his brain anymore or his body. So he can like literally regenerate himself from like pretty much any part of his body.
Yeah.
So he also has psionic powers, right? So he has telepathy, telekinesis, and out of that, he has probably the most important is his psychic immunity to others. So he's pretty hard to read and control. Now, he can manipulate minds, right? But he's not in a mega level like Jean is, right?
Yeah.
So he has molecular manipulation. He has the ability to transform his body, shape-shifting, altering his density so it can be lighter, strong, kind of like vision, self-repair, and creating biological weapons from his own body. So he can turn his skin into metal or turn his arm into a knife or, things like that. But the thing that the holy grail of Mr. Sinister is his genetic mastery. This is where he's like truly just fucking terrifying, right? So cloning, that's his specialty. Gene splicing, creating mutant chimeras. And a chimera is, so I learned about chimeras when I was studying or reading about like mythology, right?
Yeah.
And a chimera is you take something that doesn't exist, but you create it out of two or more other things. Like the traditional chimera is like the lion body, the eagle head, and the with the wings and shit.
Yeah.
So two or more. So that's what he does with mutants. He artificially engineers mutants by combining DNA of two or more other mutants. They're not natural mutants. He creates them, right? And I get into like a list of some of his famous chimeras. Storing and editing DNA libraries of countless mutants so he can create chimeras or whatever. He also creates these mutant armies for himself. Implanting false memories and engineering mutant powers. So he's basically Marvel Universe's ultimate biohacker. Hacker, not
a snooper.
Not a snooper, hacker, right? So his key storylines and impacts, he created and controlled the Marauders, right? So the Marauders were like, so this is like his custom lethal team, including Scalp Hunter, Sabretooth, Arclight, Harpoon, Riptide, Prism, and Blockbuster. So to him, to Sinister, they weren't a team like the Justice League or the Avengers. They were just tools for him to get things done. He didn't give a shit about them. He treated them as disposable, not as a team. So the other key things were like the whole Cyclops, Jean Grey, and the Summers line. So Sinister is obsessed with the Summer Grey bloodline. He engineered Madeline Pryor, which is a clone of Jean. I had Scott fall in love with him, baby, all this shit. He manipulated Cyclops for decades and the Summers family. He believes that genetic combination is the key to defending Apocalypse. And why does he want to defeat Apocalypse? The person who gave him all this power and shit is because basically Sinister is a narcissist and he doesn't want to follow Apocalypse, pretty much. In the Krakoa era, he became a member of the Quiet Council, helping building mutant resurrection protocols. He secretly built his own clone army and manipulating mutant DNA. And this leads directly to the Sins of Sinister event, where his scheme spiraled into dystopian future. Why does he matter? So he's one of the X-Men's biggest rival because he's long-lived. He plays the long game. So for decades, for centuries, or even timelines. So he's like, okay, 1,000 years from now, I want this output. So he'll start putting things into play. He's a scientist first, villain second. So he's just morbidly curious about stuff first. The evil shit comes after. So he's clinical, curious, and methodical. He's tied to nearly every major mutant event, from the families, from the Summers family to the Krakoa resurrection tech, his influence is everywhere. Like imagine secretly poisoning all the mutants over decades. Professor X, Jean, Magneto. He's like in all of them cats, right? So that's what makes him so sinister. So we talked about he makes these chimeras. So what makes a chimera a chimera? Is, like I said, multiple mutant DNA source, hybrid power sets, engineered in labs, often cloned, and created for obedience, specifically in sinister controlled future. Some of his bigger ones, the Maori's nth life. So at some point there was a decline in mutant population. So somebody said, hey, let's create a fucking breeding pit on Mars. And so we're just going to go and start doing a bunch of experimentation so we can bring up the mutant population. Some of his more notable, Rasputin 4, which is a clone of Colossus, X-23, Kid Omega, Unis the Untouchable, and Shadowcat. And that individual ends up having metallic skin, hearing factor, telepathy, intangibility, and Omega level psionic potential. Cardinal, which is a mix of Nightcrawler and Prestige. North, which is a mix of Polaris and Emma Frost. So he takes these different things. He looks at, okay, well, I want this output. So what mutant? Because he's got all the vials for everybody's DNA up on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
Let's take this one and we just do this. Or let's take this, and this, and let's see what happens. So, but after he creates them through coercion or manipulation or something, they end up being on his team and basically doing his bidding and shit, right? So why does he do it? Well, build perfect soldiers, control mankind, and just experiment. He's a doctor by trade, so just curious.
Just bored, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing better to do.
Yeah. So Sinister's most notable moments: he orchestrated the mutant massacre. Basically, had the Marauders slaughter the Morlocks. Morlocks was they were basically the hidden people underground. Had him slaughter them. He created Madeline Pryor from Jean's Grey DNA. Manipulated Scott in the Summers line. He spent decades engineering the Summers family to produce the perfect mutant weapon, including influencing the birth of Cable. Right? In his Victorian origin and transformation, that's when he got the attention of Apocalypse, and then Apocalypse turned him to the being that he is. And his role with manipulating or the manipulation of Madeline Pryor triggers the Inferno event, one of X-Men's most iconic crossovers. And when he joined the Quiet Council, so he has had, like they said, he has had pretty much anything that's happened with mutants, whether it's even written about it or not.
Yeah,
this cat has had his hands in the shit.
Damn.
Right? I mean, that's literally manipulating everybody. He's infected Xavier, Emma Frost. I mean, look at these names: Exodus, Hope, Summers. So basically hijacking the whole mutant society. And
like the most powerful mutants too.
Right.
Fuck.
So I also went down you can't be kind of an all asshole, right? Well, maybe. So went down a rabbit hole. Like, what are the things he's interested in, right? So he had his wife, Rebecca, and what's her name? Faye Livingstone. These pretty much on so think about this, out of the hundreds of years you're living, you really only have like 2 love interests. So yeah, you're gonna be a sick fuck because you don't have that, that counterbalance.
Right.
Somebody kind of check you every once in a while, right? So Rebecca Essex, his wife, number 1, Faye Livingstone, number 2, and himself. He's literally how do you call it? Flirted with clones of himself.
Damn.
So
okay,
he made a whole bunch of clones of himself in one era, and he flirts with himself. He loves himself that much.
He's self-gay?
Yeah. What?
He's self-gay.
Self-gay.
Gay
yes.
for himself.
Yep.
Okay.
And he's obsessed with romance. His interest in Cyclops, Jean, and the Summers line is not romantic. It's a scientific obsession. So he has
Fuck
interest.
that. He wants to watch them fuck. That's what he wants.
Well, he did influence the birth of Cable,
I'm
right?
sure he did.
So, right, did some Watcher shit, right? So some funny, weird stuff about him. He loves capes to the point where, yeah. So he holds a fashion-themed meeting where he judges other mutants' capes and demands everyone wear them, right? He runs the Bar Sinister. So he has a kingdom of Sinisters. He rules a society entirely populated by clones of himself, each with different personalities, right? He once tried to be a Victorian Sherlock Holmes. So in this storyline, Mystique impersonated Sherlock Holmes to investigate him, and he thought it was cool, right? He's obsessed with old technology. So even though he has access to all this shit, he prefers the old school tech and aesthetics. And he's cunnilingus. No.
Oh.
He's Let's see how you say it.
Let's see how we say that.
Fuck it. When writers write him, they almost write him like I probably the term is metrosexual.
Okay.
Or like Jason Momoa in fucking Fast and the Furious kind of shit, right?
Yep.
Often portray him as flamboyant, dramatic, and sarcastic. He once created a baby, genetically created a baby, and he held it in his hand one time and didn't say, hey, the baby's got to pee. So he also has a sinister gossip column. The Immortal, he writes snarky commentary about the quiet council that he's on, right? So basically talking shit about the people that he's on, about his own council and shit.
Hell of a guy.
So Sinister, he's not like super powerful, but again, he has the time because he's pretty much immortal to sit around and just plot and scheme to do all this kind of shit. But then, he goes and drop a potion here and there, manipulate a little bit here and there, steal people's DNA and shit. And he can just sit around and make whatever he wants, dude. So he's pretty sick fuck, dude.
And he's fucking fascinated with the Summers.
Yep.
It's all about the Summers.
All about the Summers.
That was a good suggestion, whoever suggested that. And Sinister, I was introduced to Sinister in the X-Men, the animated series.
Right.
And there's a lot of episodes that show, when I say a lot, there's a handful of episodes that show a lot of what you talked about. Mm-hmm. There's the episodes of him capturing Jean and Cyclops. I think it's the beginning of the second season. Then there's an episode, I want to say it's in the last season of the animated series before 97, where they go through his origin. You see him back in those like Victorian era where he's a scientist experimenting on mutants and shit like that. You see him go from being, Nathaniel Essex to Mr. Sinister by the end of the episode. It's a pretty good episode. And he plays a role in the X-Men 97. Right. We see Madeline Pryor for the first time. So we realize that, oh shit, we don't know how much of this history was Jean, how much of it was Madeline. And we see Sinister. I don't know I can't remember 100% if he was in it or if he was in the teaser for the next season or some shit. But Sinister's coming, dude. Yep. He's coming. He's coming for that ass, as they say. But another great hidden gem. But unfortunately, Adrian, the sun's getting low, big guy. Yep. It's getting low. It's time for a motherfucking round of Agree to Disagree as we wrap this thing up. So we appreciate everybody being with us for this long ride. People always say you helped me get through my work day and shit. So hopefully you're out there, slinging packages. We have a lot of postal workers for some reason. Don't go postal, as they say.
Right.
I have a question about that. Okay. You have stuff delivered all the time, right? Amazon, this, that. Sure. Oh my God. Sometimes they deliver things while you're home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm inside my house. I don't know about you, but most homes, you have two doors, right?
Yep.
You have a actual exterior door. Then there's what we call a screen door, right? That's what we call them up here, screen doors. These motherfuckers, dude, I'd say about 30% of the time would deliver my packages and lean them on the screen door. Number one. Or my favorite is when you have multiple packages and they stack them up. They're trying. Oh, we're gonna stack them up nice for you guys. Well, believe it or not, sometimes when y'all deliver our shit, we're inside the house.
Right.
And if I have a stack of packages, I have to now knock the boxes over to escape my house, to capture these packages and retrieve them for my family. You know, it's like it's a whole adventure now. So I'm just, if y'all don't know, I mean, it's probably not our viewer. These guys probably are awesome, but don't stack the shit in front of the fucking door.
Yo, I came out one day and so first of all, they used to put the shit on the side of the door.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now they just throw it. They don't even come up the steps. Just throw it. You hear, boom.
Throw like a newspaper.
Right, yeah. So I come out one day and I'm not looking down. I don't need to look down. It's my fucking porch, right?
Right.
I step on, I almost break my fucking legs, dude. I'm like, why would you put a package right underneath my door?
Right.
I'm not looking down on the ground for shit. Now I have to.
You have to.
But they put it right there. Right there.
So don't do that. So anyways, that being said, the Agree Disagree segment is brought to you by the Post Office of America. No, it's definitely not. It's brought to you by Only Motherfucking Comics, bitches.
Is it?
All right, you ready, Adrian?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Number one, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is the second best Guardians movie.
Agree.
The dance-off was fucking stupid.
As they typically are.
True. Ronan the Accuser was done a massive disservice in Guardians 1.
Agree.
Unbelievable. He made him a dumbass, Robert Pattinson is the best on-screen live-action Batman.
Disagree.
Contrary to what Timothée Chalamet says, people are still into opera and ballet.
Agree.
Timothy, it's okay, bro. Oh, hey, just go. My bad. That's just
exactly.
So if you're watching us, you probably are.
Yeah.
You should be. Just apologize. It's not a big deal. No one really cares. We need a Summers saga with Mr. Sinister, Jean Grey, Cyclops, all the family, Madeline Pryor, all these motherfuckers.
Corsair, the mom getting fucking raped by aliens, all that kind of bullshit.
We need that in the mutant saga after Secret Wars.
Yes.
Last but not least, everybody watching should go to onlycomicsmerch.com. You get this amazing shirt. Also, check us out on Spotify. Last week I said YouTube. So if you don't want to go to YouTube, go to Spotify. We got a Spotify channel. We got Only Comics on there. We got Mike Check on there. We'll read your comment on there too. You never know, dude.
Yeah.
So go check us out on Spotify. And if Spotify is not your jam, we're still on YouTube. You can go on YouTube. So Adrian, it's been a fun. There we go. It's been a fun week, fun show. To be continued though. We have another show. There was another show called Other Stuff. How do you join? How do you watch the other show? You become an intern, an official. You join the Legion of Interns. It's expensive. It's $4.99 a month, like $4.99 a month, and you get a whole nother podcast, at least another hour of Mike and Adrian doing our thing, Adrian. Being the comic unks, as they say.
Yes, sir.
Being Silver Fox and the Unaliver, as they say. Or just Mike and Adrian.
Or just Mike and Adrian.
Yeah. We also, the name for this whole channel is really fun with Mike and Adrian.
Correct.
Because you're going to be here with us and you're going to have some motherfucking fun.
That's it.
If you're not.
Or you're going to get pissed off.
Or you're going to get pissed off. And then you'll have fun doing something else. You know? So we're going to continue the talk about Shang-Chi, specifically the 10 Rings. And of course, we got some crazy shit to talk about on there. We always do. So get your tinfoil hats ready. Join us there. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Matter of fact, we'll go to our wide shot. Here we go. Oh, boom. We haven't seen the wide shot in a while. We got little Mike and Adrian right there. Little Mike and Adrian in the house with some claws, and you know how it goes. Well, Adrian, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely, man.
Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week right here on Only Comics.